Hello, hello. Listen, ladies, I'm gonna get on you. Your content should be making you money. Every time we're on these apps, we should be getting paid for our services, okay? Because listen, these apps make way too much money for you to not even be getting a cut, okay? If you're not getting paid to post, if you're not promoting your products, if you're not getting paid to comment and go live, that is a serious problem that we have to fix today. Because your time is valuable. Last time I checked, you should be making money when you are on these apps. I also want you ladies to understand this. Good morning. You should be generating income while you're asleep, okay? The goal is to build wealth, but we can't do that if the only time you're generating income is if you're actively working for it. At some point, you're going to want to take a vacation with your family. At some point, you're going to want to go to sleep. At some point, you're going to want to do self care. If the only time you make money is if you're actively working for it, how are we going to build wealth? We're not. So we have to fix that today, not tomorrow, but today, okay? What I want you guys to understand is this. You only need one digital product in your store. Good morning. You only need uno. And that one digital product that you choose to create and sell will literally change your entire life forever. How do I know that? Because my digital product business changed mine. You guys, I started 6 years ago during COVID. Made more money than I ever could have imagined, all because I lost 100 pounds. And then I made an ebook teaching other people how to lose weight, okay? Because I learned how to eat right. I learned how to exercise and I fixed my mindset. And I resold that ebook over and over and over again on YouTube, okay? So anything, good morning, anything that you want to sell, you can sell. But here's the problem. You get in your own way. Clock it. You are holding yourself back. See, there's things about you that's keeping you from getting it done. Good morning, Beacon. Like your lack of confidence, your lack of consistency, your lack of follow through, your lack of prioritizing yourself in your own life, your lack of getting rid of the distractions. And until we fix who you are, it don't matter what we talk about this morning because you're not going to do it. You're going to start off and you're going to say, yeah, but then when the live ends, you're going to go right back to what you know. Thank you, making excuses, talking about what you're not good at, and overthinking. You are getting in your own way, and we have to fix who you are so that you can start and get it done. Okay. For those of you guys who have never seen my face before, good morning. My name is Coach Jazz. Welcome, welcome. If I say anything this morning that resonates with your spirit and vibrates with your soul, go ahead and start double tapping the screen. Intentional said that's me. You came to the right place. We're going to fix it. The more we interact with these lives, ladies, the more TikTok and YouTube will push this live out to more people. YouTube, I see 20 people on here. Let's go ahead and start getting the thumbs up. I'm going to be giving you guys a lot of information this morning. It'd be in your best interest to take notes. You better write it down because if I know anything about you, you're human, which means you're going to forget because lives and stresses. Good morning. But if you take notes, if you write it down, anything that I do say this morning that you happen to forget, you can still refer back to your notes and get it done. The key word of this live, ladies, is going to be execution. Good morning. Thank you, Savage. You're going to hear me say this word 10 million times because I need it to stick in your pretty head that not only are we going to talk about it, not only are we going to write it down, good morning, Tawana, but we're going to actually do it. Ladies, you're going to have to execute the plan. I don't know what world you live in where you think that all you have to do is watch some content on it and that's it. No, I'm here to tell you that is incorrect. You're going to have to do it. Just like you go to your job and execute your job so that you can get a paycheck, you're going to have to execute what we talk about if you want any of this to work. If not, then don't even waste your time. Leave now, okay? So, you got to execute. All right. If you have your pen and paper in hand and you are ready for class to begin, go ahead and put ready in the chat. Because if you are ready to learn, I am ready to teach. Good morning. Good morning. Also, you guys, make sure you follow me so you don't lose me because they do steal my videos. They turn around and make fake accounts and they're going to message you. And I'm going to teach you guys how to create your ebook, how to sell it, but most importantly, how to fix you, how to get you to stop standing in your own way. Okay, very good. You ready? Let's get started. So, what is a digital product, and how will we build our business? Okay, so digital product, ladies, is something you don't have physical possession of. So, think of a movie on Netflix. Think of a song on your Apple Music or Spotify. Good morning. You don't physically have it in your possession. It's all out in the cloud somewhere, okay? You are going to create something to sell. And ladies, don't overthink, because I know some of y'all love to do that. There's something that you already know how to do. There is something that you're very good at. There's something that you have a passion for. And whatever it is, I don't care how stupid you think it is. I don't care how far-fetched you think it is. That's what I need you to sell, okay? I want you to create your own product. See, some of you guys, especially on TikTok, what you have done is you have purchased a course from somebody and you were told that if you resold the course, you could make $10 million in 24 hours. But you didn't make it, right? You haven't made it because, let's be real, it's hard for you to be consistent with promoting it because it's truly not something you care about. You don't give a fuck about it. You don't give a damn about nothing in that course. You only bought it because someone told you could resell it and make a whole bunch of money. But when you sell something that you actually know about, that you actually like, it's so much easier to be consistent and show up and sell it. Okay, so that's why I want you to create something. Good morning, YouTube. Thumbs up the live. I see 25 people in here. Okay, and listen, it doesn't have to be an ebook. You could do an e-course, you could do workbooks and journals, you could do affirmation guides, you could even do private communities, okay? So whatever your vision is, I promise you, you can get it done, but you gotta execute, okay? Maybe you're a really good mother. You can make an ebook teaching other women how to be good parents. So whatever it is, that's what you can sell. All right, good morning. Now I'm gonna give you guys 2 apps, and these apps will change your entire life if you use them. So not only are you going to download it, you're going to open it up, you're going to use it, okay? If you're ready for app number 1, go ahead and put 1 in the chat. Good morning, good morning. And let me ask you, while I wait for at least one person to type the word 1 in the chat, when was the last time you prioritized yourself in your own life? What I mean by that, when was the last time you said, okay, I don't care what's going on this morning, I am going to spend 30 minutes working on my business. I'm going to spend 30 minutes creating content. I'm going to spend 30 minutes doing something that's going to move the needle forward towards the goals that I have for my life. Some of y'all never do that. And that's the problem. That's the problem. She said never took the time to, and that's the problem. You are going to have to start making yourself a priority in your own life if you want any of this to work. Or you can keep doing what you've been doing, which is putting everybody before yourself and keep getting the results that you've been getting. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. If you don't put yourself first, then you're going to keep getting the results that you've been getting. You're going to have to change something up. You're going to have to put yourself first for at least 30 minutes. That's the only way this is going to work. I cannot make this up. You have to make yourself a priority in your own life. It's a non-negotiable. Okay? All right, good morning. App number 1 is Canva. Write it down. You will be using Canva for everything, okay? So maybe you do want to create content. Canva has thousands of Instagram Reel templates on there for you, okay? Maybe you want to start that YouTube channel that I tell y'all every single day to start. I tell you, get on YouTube and start your channel. Canva has thousands of YouTube thumbnail templates on there. For those of y'all who do not know, the thumbnails are just those pictures that you see before you actually click on the video. This is what draws people's attention to your video. All of the creators, including myself, are getting them off of Canva. And it's very easy to use. You just drag and drop. So don't even talk about what you can't do. And maybe you do want to create an ebook to sell. Great. Well, Canva has thousands of ebook templates on there. All right. And they're all 1000% customizable. So anything that you need for your business and your content, I promise you, you can get it off of Canva. All right. Now, before we get into app number 2, I do want to speak to the woman on this live who's still living in fear. And if you did not know, if you're new to the live, fear stands for fuck everything and run. And that's what you're about to do right now. You're ready to swipe up because you're saying things to yourself like, well, Jazz, I'm not tech savvy. I would love to start an online business, but what if I'm too old for this? What if it's too late for me? Okay, well, before you run away from your brilliant idea, your $1 million idea, like you do every single year, listen to me. First of all, you woke up this morning. That's a blessing, okay? Every single day that you are blessed with another day means that you are blessed with another opportunity to work towards your goals. So use it. Number two, you are very tech savvy. Let's be clear, because a lot of y'all are on these apps all day long. You are scrolling, liking, commenting, archiving, and sharing. That takes tech savviness, true or false? So, you will use the same tech savviness that you already have and build your online business. Yes, beauty. I can't make this up. And for my ladies on here who think they're too old, what did we say? We said we were going to sell our knowledge. So for those of you guys who are older, that means you have a lot of knowledge. You have a lot of wisdom, which means you have a lot of things that you could be selling. So get to selling. Okay? All right, I don't want to hear it. If you're ready for app number 2, go ahead and put a 2 in the chat. And for those of y'all who are just tuning in, good morning. My name is Coach Jazz. If I'm saying anything this morning that resonates with your spirit and vibrates with your soul, double tap the screen, like, comment, share. YouTube, thumbs up the live. I see 12 people on here and only 3 thumbs up. It takes 2 seconds. The more we interact with these lives, the more TikTok and YouTube will push these lives out to more people. And believe it or not, a lot of women have no clue that they're getting in their own way. They don't know that. They think it's everybody else. They have yet to look within and see what they're doing that's getting them the results that they've been getting. So just like this live found you, let's allow it to find others. All right. App number 2 is Chat GPT. This is AI. Chat GPT, and you will be using AI for everything. AI is going to make your life so much easier. And you guys, Chat GPT didn't even exist when I first started. So you are definitely getting the easy route here. So maybe you do want to create content, but you just don't know what kind of videos to make. Fine. ChatGPT will tell you. It will tell you what kind of videos to make. Maybe you do want to start that YouTube channel, but you're just a little camera shy. You're not too sure what to say in the videos. Cool. What if I told you ChatGPT will script the entire video for you? Now all you gotta do is say the words. And maybe you do want to create an ebook, but you just don't know what to put in it. What if I told you ChatGPT will write the entire ebook for you from beginning to end in under 30 seconds? Ladies, I can't make this up. It has never been easier than today to start your online business. You have all of the tools that you need, but the problem is you. The problem is the fact that you are addicted to scrolling and you're not addicted to executing. So we got to fix it. All right. So I gave you Canva. I gave you ChatGPT. Good morning. Now we have to put it together and write it. If you're ready for prompt number 1, go ahead and put ready in the chat. If you're not taking notes, tisk, 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 shame on you. Because the key word of this live is execution. And if I know anything about you, you're human, which means you're going to forget. Life, stresses, right? The bills is piling up. But if you write it down, when you do forget, you can still refer back to your notes and get it done. Okay, we got to execute. Very good, Bless. So you're going to open up chat. In the search, you're going to type this in. This is prompt number 1. Here we go. Give me 10 digital product ideas I can sell that solves a problem. Give me 10 digital product ideas I can sell that solves a problem. Give me 10 digital product ideas I can sell that solves a problem. If you've got that, go ahead and put got that in the chat. If you need for me to repeat it, this is the opportunity to ask. Closed mouths do not get fed. While I wait for somebody to put got that in the chat, let me tell you something. One thing I've noticed about people who struggle with posting content is because they care too much about what people think of them. But the reason why they care so much about what people think of them is because they lack confidence within themselves. See, confidence is who you think you are. The problem is a lot of people don't think highly of themselves because they never keep the promises that they make to themselves. Every single year, you tell yourself you're going to start a business, you're going to create your content, you're going to sell your products, you're going to lose the weight, and year after year, you don't follow through. You never follow through with the promises that you make to yourself. That slowly starts to chip away at your confidence to where you no longer have any. So in order to start building that confidence so you don't care what people think, you are going to have to start sticking with the plan. You're going to have to keep the promise that you made to yourself. Or you can keep doing what you've been doing, which is breaking those promises and keep getting the results that you've been getting. You're going to have to switch some things up. If you told yourself you were going to start a business, then it's time to start it. If you told yourself that you were going to post the content, it's time to post it. If you told yourself that you were going to sell your products, then damn it, it's time to sell the damn products. You cannot keep breaking promises that you make to yourself. That's a non-negotiable. Okay? All right, give me 10 digital product ideas I can sell that solve a problem. You're going to hit enter. Good morning, good morning. And for those of y'all who are just tuning in, my name is Coach Jazz. That was the very first prompt. Now, before we move forward, I need you to write this word down. This says consistent. Write it down. And then I want you to underline it 50,000 times. And then next I need you to circle it, because this morning on this beautiful Saturday, you and I are going to lock in on the true definition of the word consistent, because a lot of y'all are extremely confused. So let me go ahead and unconfuse you. Good morning. See, some of y'all think consistent means once in a while. Some of y'all think consistent means if you have time, if you feel like it. No, absolutely not. Consistent means more often than not. So, if there are 7 days in a week, I need you to be working on your business and your goals at least 4 out of the 7 days out the week. Whether you want to spend 20 minutes 4 times a week, whether you want to spend 10 hours 4 times a week, I don't give a damn for how long you're going to do it, but you are going to do it 4 times. And don't you dare tell me you don't have time. That is a lie that you continue to tell yourself year after year, because you have all the time in the world. If you have time to scroll on social media, thank you, Care. If you have time to be caught up on your favorite TV shows, if you have time to talk on the phone, then you have more than enough time to work on your business and posting your content and selling your products. You are going to have to be consistent if you want any of this to work. 4 times out the week, whether you want to do it in the morning, whether you want to do it on your lunch break, whether you want to do it in the evening. I don't care when you do it, but you will be doing 4 times out the week. If you actually want a business, if you actually want to change your life. If you don't, if you love what's been going on, then keep doing what you're doing. But if you actually want to change, if you actually want better, you have to be consistent. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. Now, let's make consistency easy, okay? Because life is hard enough, true or false? Life is lifing, stress is stressing, and then bills is piling up. So let's make consistency easy so we can actually get it done this time. Okay, listen to me. It is so much easier. Yes, like brushing your teeth. Exactly. It is so much easier to be consistent when you do things that you actually like to do. Okay? Because when things don't feel like work, well, now you have something in your day to look forward to. Now you're excited about it, and now you are ready to do it. So what I want you to do is go through the list that ChatGPT gave you and only pick ideas that you truly have a passion for. I want you to ask yourself, what is something I would love to talk about all day, every day, if I could get paid to do it? And whatever that thing is, that's what I want you to do. The reason why a lot of you guys are struggling with selling these e-courses that you purchased is because you don't care about it. You only bought the course because someone promised you that you could make $10,000 in 5 hours. But you're not doing that because it's not something you care about. But if you actually choose something that you like, that you have a passion for, that you know about, it is so easy to show up consistently and actually get the results that you want. So do yourself a favor and only pick ideas that you love. If ChatGPT gave you 10 things and you don't like none of the things it gave you, then fine, just ask for 10 more. And keep asking until it gives you something you want to use, okay? Ladies, I've lost 100 pounds. That's a whole person, okay? Anyone who lives a healthy lifestyle, you already know this is true. Isn't it so much easier to consistently stay active when you do activities that you truly enjoy doing? Yes, I love lifting weights and I love walking. So it is so easy for me to consistently move my body because I make sure I do activities that I truly love to do. Okay? Same thing with business. All right? Okay, very good. Now, one more thing before we move forward. This is critical. If you don't remember anything else I say this morning, you better remember this. Write this down. Money flows where energy goes. Let me say that again. Money flows where energy goes. Good morning, Katie. Money flows where energy goes. Don't you ever forget that. If you are anything like how I used to be, you are giving all of your energy away to any and everybody. You have literally become an energy vending machine. Mm-hmm. You are giving all of your energy to your friends. You are giving all of your energy to your husband, your boyfriend, your partner, your sneaky link. You are giving all of your energy to your children. You are giving all of your energy to your aging parents and your family. You are giving all of your energy to celebrities and the news. You are giving all of your energy to your job and your coworkers. And by the time you sit down to work on something for yourself, you can't. Because you gave all your energy away. Now you don't have any energy for yourself. And that is why you feel drained. That is why you feel frustrated. That is why you feel depressed, anxious, resentful. You don't want to carry the feeling of resentment. That is a very ugly emotion to carry with you every single day. But you're doing this to yourself. This is you doing this. And let's be clear. Most of the people that you are giving all of your energy to are not reciprocating it back to you. Because if they were, you wouldn't feel drained. If it was truly reciprocity going on in the friendship, you would not feel drained and exhausted because they give, you take. You give, they take. That's not what's going on here. You're doing all of the giving, they're doing all of the taking, you're not getting anything back in return. So, we're going to change all of that right now. You are going to start telling people no. And no is a complete sentence. You don't have to explain anything to anybody. It does not make you a bad wife because you want to work on a business. It does not make you a bad mother because you want to do something for yourself for once. It does not make you a bad friend because you don't want to sit there and listen to her talk about her problems. It makes you human. Ladies, I don't know if you know this or not, but you matter too. Your happiness is important too. You got to start telling people no. No, I cannot loan you any money. That is money that I could be using for my business. No, I cannot keep giving you rides. That is time I could be using for my business. No, I cannot keep sitting here and listen to you talk about your problems. I got to fix my own. Tell her to get a counselor. Because when you start telling people no, you start saying yes to you. Money flows where energy goes. So when you start putting more energy back into yourself, you start getting the results that you want. You start making the money that you want. See, a lot of times we are trying to pour into others, but our cup is empty. Some of y'all's cup has been empty for years, okay? You cannot effectively pour into others if your cup is not in overflow. But the only way to have an overflowing cup is if you put yourself first. When you get on a plane and they're telling you the safety precautions, what do they say? Put your air mask on first before you help the person next to you. True or false? You have to start putting yourself first in your own life if you want to be able to give to others and not feel drained. It's a non-negotiable. So the answer is no. Start telling people no, and you start saying yes to yourself. Money flows where energy goes. Don't you ever forget that. Okay? All right, prompt number 2. So once you choose the digital product idea that you want to use, yes, no is a full sentence and you don't have to explain shit to anybody. The answer is no. You are going to type this in. Write me an ebook that helps people solve this problem. Write me an ebook that helps people solve this problem. Write me an ebook that helps people solve this problem. You're going to hit enter. You're going to hit enter, okay? She said, cup has been emptied. I'm currently filling it up for all of myself. I will only share when the cup is full. Amen to that, Ruth. I cannot make this up. That does not make you selfish. That makes you selfless. I cannot make that up. I cannot make that up. You have got to start being stingy with your energy. Okay, you don't have a choice, or you can keep doing what you've been doing and doing for others, and then you sit there year after year not getting the goal, getting the results that you want in your life. The choice is always yours. Remember that. The choice is always yours. Okay. Now you're gonna hit enter. This is what I mean by it has never been easier than today to start your online business because ChatGPT literally wrote the ebook for you. It wrote it. Now all you have to do, good morning, is copy and paste, and do not overthink this. You will literally copy what ChatGPT gave you and you will paste it into your Canva template. So open up the Canva app. In the search, you're going to type in ebooks, hit enter. It's going to give you thousands of templates. Pick your most favorite one. They are all 1000% customizable, meaning you can swap out the colors, the fonts, and the pictures. Okay, you will copy and paste. Now, for my ladies who do love to overthink, you know who you are. You know exactly who you are. You overthink from the time you wake up to the time you go to bed, and it's draining you. Stop. Write this down. Good morning. KISS, KISS. This is an acronym that stands for Keep It Simple Silly. I know somebody out here is overthinking this whole thing. We didn't even get started yet. Shar said that's me. I know it is. I already know. Write this down. KISS, KISS. This is an acronym that stands for Keep It Simple Silly. Keep it simple, silly. Okay? Stop overcomplicating everything. The only thing I need your ebook to be is clean, simple, and legible. As long as it's those 3 things, you are good to go. Okay? You will copy and paste. Once you have copied and pasted and you love the way your ebook looks, you will download it as a PDF file. PDF. Once you've downloaded it as a PDF, I hope you guys are taking notes. Good morning, YouTube. Can we get some more thumbs up in the live? I see 20 people in this room and I only see 8 thumbs up. The math ain't mathing. It takes 2 seconds to hit that thumbs up. Once you have downloaded as a PDF, yes, keep it simple. She said, my high school art teacher taught me that. Yes, I can't make this up. The more simpler things are, the easier it is. I cannot make this up. You will upload it to your hosting site. Write these down. Stan Store, Etsy, Beacons, Gumroad. Yes, I am back. I had thyroid surgery. I am back. And Shopify. I am back. Stan Store, Etsy, Beacons, Gumroad, Shopify. These are some of the most popular hosting sites. Yes, there are plenty more, but these are some of the most popular ones. And your product only needs to be on one of these, not all 5. Okay, just one. If you've got all of this, go ahead and put got that in the chat. And while I wait for someone to put got that, let me let you guys know what I've noticed about people. And I used to be guilty of this too. Okay. Listen, I know the words are backward on YouTube. I can't turn the mirror on YouTube. I'm sorry. Y'all gonna have to read backwards on YouTube. One thing I've noticed that we tend to do is we love our comfort zone. We love that comfort zone of ours. And just so you know, that comfort zone is just your daily routines and habits. It's what you do every single day. It's the people that you talk to, it's the environments that you frequent, it's the type of content that you consume, it's your distractions, it's your restaurants that you go to. Your comfort zone is just what you do on a regular basis every single day. That's what you do. Okay? And we love that comfort zone of ours. But notice that comfort zone that we refuse to leave doesn't really give us the results that we're looking for in life. You've been looking for financial freedom, but you haven't found it in that comfort zone of yours. You've been looking for peace, but you haven't found it in that comfort zone of yours. You've been looking for sales and business, but you haven't found it in that comfort zone of yours. You've been looking for happiness, but you haven't found it in that comfort zone of yours. Let me give you a secret. Because it's not there. The results that you're looking for in your life are not in that comfort zone. If they were, you would already be getting the results that you want in your life. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting different results. You are going to have to make a decision to take a half an inch out of that comfort zone and do something a little bit different. The results that you want, the sales that you want, the content that you want, the confidence that you want in yourself is not there. It's outside of that comfort zone. That's where it is. You are going to have to start changing some things up. You're going to have to stop with all the distractions that you have. You're going to have to stop hanging around the people that you're hanging around. Listen, I know a lot of people don't want to believe this, but you attract what you are. Thank you, Millie. 9 times out of 10, the friends that you have, the family members that you're closest to, y'all share similar mindsets. I know you don't want to believe that because some of y'all like, I don't know, me and my friend are not the same. Yes, you are. Yes, you are, because if you weren't, y'all wouldn't be friends. You're going to have to take a half an inch out and do something a little bit different. You're going to have to decide, I'm going to spend 20 minutes today working on this. I'm going to spend 20 minutes today working on that. I'm going to put myself first. Because if you don't, you will keep getting the results that you've been getting. And notice that comfort zone that you refuse to leave is draining you. That comfort zone that you refuse to leave is depressing you. That comfort zone that you refuse to leave is frustrating you. I don't know if you know this, but stress is a silent killer. Yes, it is. I don't have to convince you. Look it up. Stress is a silent killer. A lot of you have been extremely stressed out for years. That comfort zone that you refuse to leave is slowly killing you. You're going to have to take a half an inch out. You're going to have to start doing things a little bit differently, slowly but surely every single day to get the results that you want. Or you can keep doing what you've been doing and keep getting the results that you've been getting. The choice is yours. Leave that comfort zone. The life you want is not there. It is not there. Okay? Okay. Now back to these hosting sites. I use Stan Store. I love Stan. Stan is great. But Stan Store is very expensive. Stan Store is $99 a month. That is extremely high if your business is not making that yet. Okay? If you're brand new to all of this, you're just getting started, Stan Store is not for you. Instead, I want you to use Gumroad because Gumroad only charges you a percentage when you make a sale. They charge you 10% for every sale. So until you make money, you don't have to spend it. That's a great place to start, okay? Now, one thing I know about you is this. You're going to make money because you're taking notes, you're asking questions, and most importantly, you said you were going to execute what we're talking about, okay? So when you do start generating income, then transfer everything over to Stan Store later because Stan Store has a lot of features that will help you expand your business, like Afterpay and Klarna. Okay, let me let you in on what's going on in the world of finance today, in case you didn't know. Buy now, pay later is taking over. It's taking over, okay? That includes Afterpay, Klarna, Sezzle, QuadPay, Affirm, PayPal. There's so many these days. Buy now, pay later is taking over. That is the new preferred payment option. People are using it more than credit cards. Why do you think they put it on DoorDash? Exactly. Okay. And no, it's not just poor people. So get that out your head. Get that out your head. 6-figure earners are using it too. And if you have a buy now, pay later option on your site, I promise you, you will make more. But for now, you will start with what you have. You will start on Gumroad, you will build your business, and then you will transfer everything over to Stand Store later. Okay? So what we just did was we just made the ebook. We took Canva, we took ChatGPT, we put it together, we made it, and then we uploaded it to our hosting sites. All right? Now we got to sell it. We have to sell it. Now I'm going to teach you how to sell. I got to be honest with you. Sales is 80% of the business, okay? That means that's more than half. So we have to get sales right or there will not be a business. We don't have a choice. We got to get this part right. But before we get into sales, I need to make something crystal clear to you. That process of copying and pasting and making that ebook that we just did, selling is where I'm lost. I got you, click. That process should not take you longer than 2 hours. 2 hours. Respectfully, it really shouldn't take you longer than 1. But I will give you grace and I'm going to give you 2. And just so you know, on my live, I don't care how old you are. Over here, age ain't nothing but a number. Ask my students. I don't give a damn. I really don't. Okay? Because what you're not going to do is try to convince me that it takes longer than 2 hours to copy and paste some words. No, it doesn't. And I know you know how to copy and paste because you copy and paste the links to the reels and the group chats all day long. Am I lying? If it is taking you longer than 2 hours, then you and I have a serious problem that we have to fix right now. Right now. One of the problems that you might be experiencing, and I used to be guilty of this too, this is how I know, you're trying to be a perfectionist. We learned copy and paste in grade school, and it's still taking longer than 2 hours because you're trying to be a perfectionist. Let me guess, you're the woman who wants to be so perfect that you will waste 6 months of your life overthinking your brilliant idea and second guessing your greatness because you just got to be so damn perfect. And then when you do decide to get started, you're going to take things out, put things back, you're going to get irritated and frustrated and have OCD because it's still not perfect and then give up on it again. Then you're going to let 3 more months go by that you never get back just to overthink your brilliant idea some more. And when you decide to get started yet again and reset, this time you're going to go ask 20 people what they think you should do with your business. And the crazy thing is, these people that you're asking, they're not even business owners. These aren't even people you would trade lives with. But for some reason, you care so much about what people think of you. And then when they give you their opinion, you listen. Next thing you know, a whole year has gone by and you haven't done shit but waste your precious, valuable time that you will never, ever, ever get back. Bless your heart. Bless your heart. Listen. I know, because I used to be the exact same way. I know. And I'm going to hold your hand very, very tightly when I say this to you. And just know I'm saying it out of love. She's reading me down. I know. Ma'am, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but you are not perfect. At all. Okay? I am not perfect. At all. Nobody is perfect at all. We are all perfectly imperfect. See, what you are is scary as hell. You are still living in fear. And in case you're new here, we said on this live, fear stands for fuck everything and run. And that's what you've been doing. You have been running away from your brilliant idea, your $1 million idea for years because you're so fearful of failing. You are so fearful of looking stupid. You are so fearful of people talking about you that you allow fear to steal your dream life from you. Yes, fear is stealing it because let's be clear. You already know exactly what kind of life you want to live. You have prayed about it and prayed about it. God heard you year after year. You know exactly what side of town you want to live on. You know what neighborhood you want to live in. You already know. You know exactly how much money you want in that bank account. You know exactly what kind of vacations you want to be able to take your family on. And most importantly, you know exactly how much money you want to leave your children. You know all of the things. You know everything. But every day that you don't live like that is another day that you chose to let fear steal that life from you. You gotta let go of fear. And if you want to dig even deeper into why we hold on to all this fear in the first place, why we try to be perfect, it's because we're self-sabotaging. That's what all this is. All of this is self-sabotage. You are doing this to yourself. That's why I keep saying time and time again, you are getting in your own way. It is you holding you back. And the reason why we self-sabotage in the first place is because we have fragile egos. And your ego is terrified of feeling disappointment if it doesn't work. If you put yourself out there, if you try something new, and if it fails, oh my God, you are so terrified of feeling disappointment in yourself. So you will self-sabotage and you will come up with all these excuses as to why you can't get it done to avoid feeling disappointment if it doesn't work. You will self-sabotage by convincing yourself that you're too busy to get this done. Let's be real. You are not too fucking busy because you're on social media all day, which lets me know you have more than enough time to do this. But you'll self-sabotage and you'll say things like you're too busy because if you let go of that excuse, well, now you actually have to do the work. And if you do the work and if it doesn't work, oh no, you are terrified of feeling disappointment if it doesn't work. So you will self-sabotage by saying you're too busy. You will self-sabotage by holding on to toxic friendships and toxic relationships. You will use the excuse of, well, that's been my friend for 20 years. I can't let that friendship go. Listen, you were never in a friendship with that woman. No, you were not. Because if you were, you wouldn't be feeling how you're feeling. She has never been a friend to you. But you will self-sabotage and hold on to those relationships. Because if you let those toxic friendships and relationships go, you want to know what will happen? Well, you'll start building your confidence. Now you'll have your resources because you're not giving them out to everybody, right? You're not around people who are using you. Now you have the time, the energy to put into your business. But you are so terrified of feeling disappointment if it doesn't work. So you will hold on to toxic relationships to avoid feeling disappointment. Self-sabotage. That's what all this is. But I am so confused because earlier you said that you hated your job. You said that you were tired of living paycheck to paycheck. You said you were tired of giving up on yourself and not having confidence. Those were the things that you said. But every day that you live like that, you're still living in disappointment because you're still living a life that you're not 1000% happy with. I'm trying to help you fix it, but we cannot fix it if we do not change. How can we have a business? How can we bring more money into the household so we can stop living paycheck to paycheck if there's no products to sell? How can customers buy your stuff if there's no stuff? They can't. They can't. How can we build our confidence if we keep breaking the promises that we made to ourselves? You have told yourself for years that you were going to start an online business and you haven't done it yet. How can we build our confidence and feel good about ourselves and pose to not care what people think if we keep breaking the very promise we made to ourselves? You can't. Can't. So what that means is you are going to have to launch. You got to put out the product. And I need you to understand and understand that it will never, ever, ever be perfect. I don't care if you spend 20 more years working on it. It will still not be perfect. But understand this, the more you do something, the better it gets. The more content you post, the better your content will get. The more products you put out in the future, the better your products will get. The longer you run your business, the better your business will get. But it will still never be perfect. But you will launch regardless because you understand that you will get better along the way. All of our favorite businesses that we spend our hard-earned money with today have gotten better along the way. Look at Netflix. I don't know if you know this or not, but believe it or not, before COVID, Netflix did not always have a fancy Netflix app. No, they were not always doing comedy specials with Kevin Hart and Dave Chappelle. They did not have their own production company making movies and TV series that are now winning Emmys and Oscars today. And they damn sure did not always have wrestling on pay-per-view. Years ago, before COVID, you used to have to go on their website, netflix.com. You had to make a list of the movies you wanted to see. And these were not their originals. These were movies that were once in theaters. They would mail you a DVD off of the list. You could watch it as many times as you wanted. And when you were ready for that next movie, you had to mail that DVD back. They didn't wait until they could afford the fanciest software. They launched with what they had. And the longer they ran their business, the more customers they got. The more customers they got, the more money they made. The more money they made, the more they were able to invest back into the business and make it better. I don't know why you and your ego believe that you're above Netflix and you can skip the messy middle, but I'm going to need you to reel that ego on in some because Netflix is a billion-dollar company. So, if Netflix had to launch what they had and what they could afford, I don't know why you think you don't have to do that. But you do have to do that. And just like Netflix, just like Amazon, just like Tesla, you will get better along the way too. But you still won't be perfect. I mean, we all have complaints about Netflix. And another reason why it might be taking you longer than 2 hours to copy and paste some words is because you're distracted as fuck. I already recognize that I'm not the life coach for everybody. I have accepted the fact that I am not the business coach for everybody because believe it or not, most people aren't really looking for solutions. I know this sounds crazy. Most people today are just looking to pass time. They are just looking for someone that they can complain and vent to. But the minute you present them with the solution to their problem, they bail because they were never looking for solutions in the first place. I'm not here for that. I'm not here for that. I am here to help the woman who actually really truly wants to change her life. But in order to do that, I have to make you aware of who you are and what you've been doing. Self-awareness is key. And most people are not self-aware. Which means I have to tell you the truth so that we can fix it. Listen, when you get off of work, you could work on your business and reaching your goals and keeping the promises that you made to yourself so that you can finally feel good about yourself. But you make the choice not to. You choose to sit on the phone and gossip with your friends about celebrities and their drama. When you do have time off from work, like the weekends, you could work on your business and reaching your goals and keeping the promises that you made to yourself so you can finally develop self-respect and self-love. But you make the choice not to. You choose to sit on the couch and binge watch Netflix and Hulu for hours. Late at night, when your children are asleep, you could work on your business and reaching your goals and keeping those promises that you made to yourself. But you make the choice not to. You choose to scroll social media, laughing at funny videos and sharing them back and forth in the group chats. And the reason why we hold on to all these distractions, social media, binge watching movies and TV shows, gambling, all of these distractions that we have, the reason why we have them is because we're trying to escape. This is escapism. And the reason why you're trying to escape is because there's things about your life that you're not 1000% happy with. And instead of you being a grown woman and fixing it, you choose to run from it. But let me ask you, how is that going? Is that working? Is it working out? I don't know. Just ask yourself, how do you feel? That'll tell you everything you need to know. When you wake up in the morning, are you ready to start your day? Are you excited about your day, or are you sitting at the edge of the bed dreading it? How do you feel on a day-to-day basis? That will answer that question for you. Because if that's not working, then that means it's time to change something. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting different results. So if what you're doing is not working, that means it's time to change. Instead of trying to escape a life that you're not 1000% happy with, what if we just lock in and build a life that we never feel the need to escape from? Okay. So, this is what you're going to do today. Today, you are going to turn the TV off. Put the phone on Do Not Disturb. Tell your friends you will talk to them later. You are building your dream life. You're going to sit down at home. No, you don't need to go to Starbucks because you get distracted there. You're going to start your ebook and then you're going to finish it. Not start, stop, come back next week because we already know how you do. You ain't coming back. You're going to start it and you're going to finish it. 2 hours is all you need. If we are crystal clear on all of these instructions, go ahead and put clear in the chat, because respectfully, there is no point in talking about sales if we don't have anything to sell. And for those of y'all who are just tuning in, good morning. My name is Coach Jazz. We are building our online business. Make sure you follow me so you don't lose me, you guys, because they do steal my videos, especially on TikTok. And then they turn around and make fake accounts. Okay, and then they message you. YouTube, make sure you guys subscribe. Now, I told you guys a few minutes ago, sales is 80% of the business. That is more than half, so we got to get this right or we will not have a business. But I also got to tell you the truth. Good morning. Sales is where most people fail. They fail here, okay? Not for the reasons that you think. I know some of y'all are ready to run away now because you're like, oh my God, sales is so hard, I can't do it. No. Sales is actually not hard. Sales is very easy. But people's mindset and the things that they think in regards to sales is what makes sales so hard for them. So in order to actually sell something, we have to first fix our headspace around sales. See, some of y'all think selling is begging people for money. Some of y'all are afraid to talk about your product consistently because you don't want to be annoying. You're so worried about people unfollowing you. You say things to yourself like, I'm not a salesperson. Okay, let's go ahead and clear all that up. First of all, selling is not begging. Selling is solving. Okay? So get that out your head. People have a problem and you have a solution. You are not begging anyone for anything. So stop thinking that. Number 2, you don't have a choice but to talk about your products and services and how you can help people consistently, because people are extremely forgetful and they will forget. Ladies, believe it or not, everyone is living their own life, okay? Life is life and stress is stressing for everybody. And most people are on social media all day, which means that they are being bombarded with content from the time they wake up to the time they go to bed. So you have to consistently remind people of who you are, what you do, and how you can help people so they can even begin to remember who you are. Why do you think I keep telling you guys to take notes? Because I already know you're forgetful. So I'm telling you to write it down so when, not if, but when you forget, you can refer back to your notes and still get it done. Why do you think I keep reminding you that the key word of this live is execution? You keep hearing me say that word over and over and over again because I need it to stick in your pretty head that you have to execute. Psychology has already proven the more you hear something, the more it sticks. You have to consistently remind people. so they can even remember who you are. You don't have a choice. Look at Amazon. We all know who they are. We all got the memo. And most of us are Prime members, meaning we pay a monthly subscription to utilize 2-day, 1-day, and same-day shipping. So even though everyone knows who Amazon is, and most of us spend our hard-earned money with them every single month, they still remind you consistently that they exist. Look at their Amazon trucks. You can't even go 2 miles down the street without seeing one. They didn't have to paint those trucks blue. They didn't have to put their logo on them. They could have left them white. But they did it for a reason. Why? So that every time you see one of their trucks, your brain remembers Amazon. Look at their packages. They didn't have to put their logo on those cardboard boxes. They could have left them blank. But they did it for a reason. Why? So that every time you see one of their packages, which is multiple times a day, your brain remembers Amazon. Now, let's be honest. Do you really think they're worried about you unsubscribing from Prime because they're doing too much? Do you really think they're worried about you thinking that they're begging you for money? No. No. Because they already know that they have a solution to your problem. They already know you're lazy and you want convenience. We all do. So they will continue to remind you every single day, multiple times a day, that they exist. And every single month, you will continue to spend your hard-earned money with them. Am I lying? For those of you guys who have seen my face before, maybe I'm not a new face to you. I have been doing this for 6 years, full time. You might have found me on YouTube. I'm on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Threads. I am all over the internet. How is it that I'm able to show up consistently and talk about Glow Up Academy without worrying about people thinking I'm annoying or begging them for money? Because I already know I have a solution to people's problems. People want to become more confident. They want to follow through with the promises that they make to themselves and start believing in themselves. I work with them every single day inside of Glow Up Academy. People want to become more disciplined. People want to become more accountable. People want to actually get the results they've always wanted. I work with them every single day inside of Glow Up Academy. People want to build their online business. They want to get paid and monetize their platforms. They want to sell their products. I work with them every single day inside of Glow Up Academy. If people unfollow me because I'm doing too much or I'm being annoying, respectfully, I don't care. One thing I've noticed about people is this. People do not change until the pain of staying the same outweighs the pain of change. In other words, people don't change until they hit a brick wall. But when they do, they come back. And because I have that energy with my products and services, I sell, and I sell a lot. Because Amazon has that energy with their products and services, they sell, and they sell a lot. And if you want to sell a lot too, you're going to have the same energy. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Okay? All right. Let's sell. If you're ready for sales tip number 1, go ahead and put a 1 in the chat. Good morning, good morning. And for those of y'all who are just tuning in, my name is Coach Jazz. We are building our online business from scratch. If I'm saying anything that resonates with your spirit and vibrates with your soul, make sure you guys are double tapping the screen, like, comment, and share the live. The more we interact with these lives, the more TikTok and YouTube will push these lives out to more people. And I do want to address the elephant in the room, which is failing. A lot of you guys have amazing ideas. You really do. You are sitting on a brilliant idea, but you are terrified of failing. And that word failing has you in a chokehold that you're too afraid to even start. But what if I told you that a lot of you are very confused as to what the word failing even means? So let me unconfuse you. See, some of y'all think failing means you post your first YouTube video. And if you don't get 50,000 subscribers in 7 days, then you failed. Some of y'all are really out here thinking that if you launch your first ebook and you're not a millionaire by the end of the month, then you failed. Some of y'all really believe that if you post on TikTok for 7 days straight and you don't get 10,000 views, then you failed? What if I told you that's not failing? Failing only exists when you quit. When you throw in the towel and you say, you know what? I don't want to do this anymore. I give up. I'm done. I quit. Well, then that is when you have officially failed. But if every single day you just keep showing up, you just keep taking a half an inch out that comfort zone, doing something a little bit different today that you didn't do yesterday, that's not failing because you're still showing up. You're still trying. You're still learning. You're still committed. See, the problem with society is we become extremely entitled. Entitlement is at an all-time high. Thank you, Dandy. And so many people have been entitled for so long, they don't even recognize how entitled they are. And see, what you have done is you feel entitled to the results in the time frame in which you set. You have created an unrealistic time frame of when you feel entitled to those results. So if those results don't come when you said so, that's when you feel like you failed. But my question for you was, why do you feel entitled to those results in that time frame? Because the results always come. They just not may come when you feel entitled to them. Some of y'all believe that because you said that you should be making $10,000 in 7 days, well, I feel entitled to it. And because it didn't happen, I failed. But if you just keep showing up, I promise you, you will make $10,000. I've lost 100 pounds. For anyone who has lost any amount of weight, you already know this is true. If you just let go of the excuses, if you just let go of the excuses and you just say, you know what? I'm going to track my calories. I'm going to count every single calorie I eat. I am going to move my body. Don't you eventually get to the goal weight that you always wanted to be at? Yes. Yes, you do. You want to know why most people fail at weight loss? You want to know the truth? It's because they felt entitled to losing 50 pounds in 48 hours. So they're going to do all these crash diets. They're going to do these water fasts. They're going to do all this crazy, unrealistic crap because they feel entitled to losing X amount of pounds in X amount of days. And when they don't, they give up on it completely. That's why they fail at weight loss. For anyone who's got any type of degree, maybe you got a bachelor's degree, a master's degree, a PhD, you already know this is true. If you just keep going to class, you just keep doing the homework assignments, don't you eventually get the degree that you wanted? Mm-hmm. You want to know why most people don't? Because they refuse to just stay consistent. They refuse to just stay consistent. They refuse to keep showing up to class. They refuse to keep doing the work, which is why they don't get the degree that they wanted. So why would business be any other way? It's not. It's not. If you just keep showing up, if you just keep putting in the work, you will eventually get to the dollar amount you want, the subscriber count you want, the view count that you want. So for anyone on this live who is so terrified to start because it's so terrified of failing, just don't quit. Because if you don't quit, then you didn't fail. And now you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Okay? All right. Sales tip number 1, content is king and distribution is queen. Content is king and distribution is queen. So let's break this up so it makes sense. We'll start with the content is king part, okay? Content, in case you didn't know, is just anything that you upload to social media, okay? So pictures, reels, if you go live, long form YouTube videos, all of that is content, okay? If you post statuses on Facebook, Twitter, Threads, all of that is content, okay? Content is king because we said people have to be reminded consistently so they can even begin to remember who you are, what you do, and how you can help people, all right? Now, I want to make something clear. We have to adapt a new mindset, all right? We can't keep having this all or nothing. Because one thing I've noticed about people is the minute you feel overwhelmed, the minute you stop. So a lot of times people will create this long list of to-dos. I gotta do this, I gotta do that, I gotta do this. And then you don't even know where to start. You feel overwhelmed and you just freeze and you don't do anything. So starting today, the new mindset, the new approach is going to be we're going to crawl before we walk and we're going to walk before we run. In other words, we're just going to take a half an inch out of our comfort zone every single day. We're just going to do something small. And over time, that gets us to the results that we want. So maybe some of you guys are struggling with posting content consistently because you're camera shy. So obviously it's going to be hard to post because you're so camera shy and you feel cringe and you're worried about what people think. So we're going to fix that problem first. If you are struggling with camera shyness, this is what I want you to start doing today. Multiple times a day, every single day, I want you to sit in front of your camera, your phone for 30 seconds. You could do 5 minutes, multiple times a day. Okay? And I want you to sit in front of your camera and I want you to talk to it. And this is not stuff to post. This is just strictly for you to get out of your camera shyness. Because the more you do something, the better you get. We already talked about this. So the more you sit in front of your camera and talk to it, the better you get, the more natural you feel. And now you don't feel awkward. You don't feel cringe. And don't you dare tell me you don't have time to do this. Because if you have time to scroll, then you have time to get out of your camera shyness. If you commit to doing this for 1 or 2 weeks straight, I promise you, you will not be camera shy for long. So multiple times a day, sit in front of your camera, talk to it. You can cook in front of the camera. You can work out in front of the camera. I don't care. Just do it. 5-minute increments, 10-minute increments, whatever. Now, once you do get out of the camera shyness and you don't feel awkward and cringe, now we're going to work on committing to posting one 30-second TikTok video a week. Just one. Just one. 30 seconds. So there's 7 days in a week. So that gives you 6 days to get on ChatGPT, figure out what kind of video to make. You can even have ChatGPT script the video for you. You're going to have 6 days to edit it, and then you're going to have 6 days to build up enough courage to hit upload for a 30-second video. Now you're going to commit to posting one 30-second video per week. Once you have become consistent with that, you feel comfortable with that, now we're going to up it to 2. So we're going to take another half an inch out that comfort zone. And now we're going to commit to 2 videos a week. Then once you get consistent with that, we're going to take another half an inch out that comfort zone and we're going to commit to 3 times a week. Next thing you know, you are posting content consistently. So we're going to crawl before we walk and walk before we run. Okay? Slowly but surely, taking a half an inch out of our comfort zone. Now, the distribution is queen part. So not only will we be posting content consistently, we're also going to work on building at least 3 platforms. Why 3, Jazz? Because 1 is too close to none, that's why. Like that one income you have at that one job. If they laid you off tomorrow, what would you do? Excuse me. You'd be sitting there freaking out, trying to figure out how you're going to pay your bills. If you put all of your eggs in a TikTok basket and the U.S. decides to ban it, what would you do? You would be freaking out like all of the other TikTokers who only had their eggs in a TikTok basket. They only had a TikTok account. I teach my students we have to stay proactive so we're not reactive. In other words, we got to stay ready. And no, it's not hard to build 3 platforms. The same exact video that you post on TikTok, you'll throw it on YouTube Shorts, Instagram, Facebook, wherever you want to be. It takes an extra 5 minutes. I do it all day. I promise you it's not hard. Now, which platform should you grow? That's up to you. You got a lot of options, okay? I do always suggest starting with the platform that you're always on. So if you find yourself always on TikTok, then start a TikTok. Obviously, you love this app so much because you're always here, and then just choose 2 more. But I am going to give you some words of advice in case you didn't know. YouTube is the most watched platform. It is not TikTok. It is YouTube. There are more people watching YouTube than anywhere else. YouTube has even replaced cable TV. So I'm going to always, always, always encourage my students to start their YouTube channel. I ask my students, I tell them every day, get on YouTube, start your YouTube channel. If everybody is watching YouTube, then why are you not posting on YouTube? Make it make sense. Start your YouTube channel. Now, before we move any further, I do want to speak to the woman on this live who's still holding on to fear, child. She holding on tight. She knows who she is. She's happy she found this live. She's like, this is divine timing, Jazz. I need to hear this morning. Thank you. But in the back of her head, she is like, girl, what did I just step into? I would love to start an online business. I would love to post content, sell my products. But I don't know, Jazz. You're telling me to post content consistently? You're telling me to make my own digital product? So not resell someone else's. You're telling me to make my own? And then you're telling me to build 3 platforms? Jazz. I don't know, girl. I want to, but honestly, I just don't think I can. And this just sounds really, really hard. Okay. Well, before you run away from your brilliant idea, just listen. The first thing I want you to know is this. I don't have the ability to convince you of anything. Okay? I can't convince anyone. So, if you want to believe that posting content consistently is hard, then fine. Your feelings are valid. You're right. It's hard. If you want to believe that creating your own product, your own ebook with ChatGPT is hard, then fine. You're right. It's hard. If you want to believe that building 3 platforms is hard, then fine. It's hard. But I do want to remind you, the life you're currently living is hard. Going to a job every day that drains you is hard. Feeling overworked and underpaid, that's hard. Making payment arrangement after payment arrangement, robbing Patrice to pay Paula is hard. And you do that every day. Crying because you're so stressed and so unhappy with the way life is going for you right now is hard. And you do that every day. Knowing deep down in your soul that there is something better for you. You can feel it with everything you have and not living it. Now that's hard. That's hard. And you live like that every day. And see, that's what fear will do. That right there. And you let it. You let fear convince you that you can't do any of the things that we're talking about this morning. But look at what you're already doing. That's 10 times harder than this. One thing I've noticed about women, and I used to be guilty of this too, we never want to give ourselves credit where credit is due. Be honest. When was the last time you told yourself that you're proud of you? That you're proud of the things that you've accomplished? Some of y'all don't even know. Some of y'all are like, Jazz, what? And that's the problem. That's the problem. You never tell yourself how amazing you are. You never give yourself credit where credit is due. Because let's be real, life's for everybody. Stress is for everybody. No one's life is perfect. And we have all had moments in our life that were hard as hell. True or false? And in those moments, we had no clue how we were going to overcome it. No clue. We were in our darkest days. But you overcame it. You got through it. Because you're still here today. And now, here you are, doubting your abilities to get this done. That's the problem. You never give yourself credit where credit is due. And I don't have to convince you of how strong you really are because you've already proven that to be true in your own life. I don't have to convince you of how resilient you truly are because you've already proven that to be true in your own life. I remember when I lost my grandma, my world turned upside down. I had no clue how I was going to overcome that. She pretty much raised me, and me and her were really close. She was the one woman in my life where no matter what I told her, I knew she wasn't going to judge me. I just knew she would listen and she would give me the best advice. And even when I went off to college, I would still call her 4 and 5 times a day just to check in on her and tell her what I was doing. And when she passed, oh my God. And that was the first time I experienced grief. I was 25 and I had no clue how I was going to live my life without her. And here I am, 10 years later, still living life without her. That is strength. That is resilience. You never give yourself credit where credit is due. I don't have to convince you of this because you can see this for yourself. There are people on these apps who are in worse off situations than you, still showing up, getting it done. There are women on these apps with more children than you, still showing up, getting it done. There are people on these apps with worse health conditions than you, still showing up, getting it done. There are people on these apps who are living their darkest days right now. They might have lost their job. They might have lost their house. And despite the weight of the world on their back right now today, they are still showing up, getting it done. So if they can do it, why can't you? You want to know why? You want to know the truth? The reason why they're getting it done and you're not is because you refuse to let go of fear. That's why. That's the only difference. You refuse to let go of fear. And this is why I keep talking about confidence and lack thereof. This is a confidence issue. That's what all of this is. Look at all of the things that you have overcome. Look at how amazing you truly are. But it doesn't matter what I say to you, you don't even believe that. Because time and time and time again, you keep breaking the promises you make to yourself. This is a lack of confidence, which is why we have to fix our confidence. Look at everything you deal with daily, and you're going to let fear convince you that you don't have the abilities to record a 30-second TikTok video and hit upload. Are we serious right now? That's what we're going to do this morning? That's what we're doing. Really, ladies? Look at everything you've overcome. And you're going to allow fear convince you that you don't have the abilities to copy some words that ChatGPT wrote for you and paste it into a pre-made Canva template. Are we serious right now? That's what we're doing this morning? Really? Really? Look at everything you deal with daily. And you're going to let fear convince you that you don't have the abilities to take a video that you posted on TikTok and then post it on Instagram and YouTube. Are we serious right now? That's what we're doing this morning? This is why I keep telling you, you have to stop breaking the promises that you make to yourself, because this is the result of all of that. This right here. Because nothing that I have said this morning is anything that you can't do. The only reason why you're not doing it is because you refuse to let go of the fear. That fear is stealing your dream life from you. The life where you get to wake up doing what you want on your terms, that life. The life where you get to take your children on the vacation that they've always wanted to go on, that life. The life where you have a savings account, that life. It's stealing it. The life where you can leave money to your children and not debt, that life. It is stealing that life from you. And you let it. you let it. You have to let go of the fear. Listen, my online business changed my whole life. I've been doing this full time for 6 years. I started during COVID, made more money than I ever could have imagined from a cell phone, a laptop, and some Wi-Fi. For the first time in my life, I have peace. You can't even put a price tag on that. I have freedom now. I get to wake up every day doing what I love, when I want, how I want to do it. Thank you. I have purpose now. I get to do what I truly love to do and get paid to do it. I have confidence now. I keep all of the promises I make to myself. But before all of this, before COVID, I lived a very different life. I used to be miserable. I used to be depressed, anxious, frustrated. I used to be insecure as hell. I was 100 pounds overweight. I had a 9 to 5 that I absolutely hated. And to top it all off, I used to be an alcoholic. See, I have bought into the American dream bullshit that they sell all of us. But I bought in back in high school because they told me to go to college. That's what they said. And they said if I went to college, I'd be able to get a good job with benefits and stability. I'll make more than enough money a year to where I can travel a few times a year. I'll be able to save for a house, and I'll be able to put extra money into my 401k savings. So when I get too old to work, I'll be able to retire with dignity and live the rest of my life in peace. That's what they said. So I said, let's do it. Let's go off to college. My mom told me to go. All of my friends went, so I went. Did the whole college thing. Stayed in dorm rooms. I was 2 hours away from home. Got me a bachelor's degree 4 years later. That degree cost me $40,000. Graduated and moved back home, like most college students do. And then 6 months after I graduated, I got my first full-time job with benefits. Oh, I was so excited. I was 23 years old, and they were about to be paying me $60,000 a year. I thought I was about to be rich. That's more money than I ever made in my entire life. I didn't have any children, so I really thought this American dream was taking off for me. I was so excited. And they were giving me PTO, so paid time off. I get paid to not be there? What? Girl. I thought I hit the jackpot. So I decided to move out of my mom's house. I was sick of her rules. I was ready to be a grown woman and do grown woman things. So I went out and got my own place. Didn't stop there. I had to live the American lifestyle, right? So I decided to get a brand new car. I had to upgrade my new life, right? See, I had a car. The car was paid off. Okay, my grandma got me that car. It got me from point A, B, C, D, E, and F. There was nothing wrong with that car, and I had my title in hand. But it was old. No leather seats, no push to start, no tablet on the dash. I had to upgrade, right? So I went out and got me a brand new Dodge Charger. Couldn't tell me shit. And my grandma and my mom told me, Jazz, don't do it. But I'm like, they're old. What are they talking about? I'm going to do it. So I got me a car note. That car payment was $450 a month. And we all know with expensive cars comes expensive car insurance and expensive gas. By the time I paid all my bills for the month, the girl was broke as hell. I was broke. Okay? There were no trips. I couldn't take a vacation. I couldn't put extra money into my 401k. I could barely afford to eat. That's how broke I was. I had another problem. I had to start paying back those student loans. See, at 23, I didn't think the government was serious about getting their money back for student loans. I thought it was all fun and games because everybody has student loans, right? That's the American way. No. The government is not joking when they want their money back. They will give you 6 months after you graduate college to get on your feet. So they won't call you. They won't send letters. They want you to focus on getting a job. But best believe when that 6-month mark hits, they're sending letters to the house because here's the kicker. They want to see your tax returns because they're going to tell you how much you can afford. And since they saw on paper I made 60,000 a year, I didn't have any dependents, so no children. They said I have no problem paying $400 a month. I was like, what? $400? Yep, that's the price. I had 11 student loan accounts that they lumped under one monthly payment of $400 a month. Every month that I did not pay those student loans, which was every month because I genuinely couldn't afford it, I got 11 missed payments on my credit. In the course of 1 year, I racked up 121 missed payments. My credit dropped. 520. And just so you know, you can't bankrupt those. You are stuck with those payments until you die. Yes, USD. So I'm broke. I have really bad credit. I had one last problem to top it all off. I hated my job. Nowhere in the American dream blueprint did they tell me I would be miserable at my 9 to 5. Now, I'm not gonna lie, okay? I grew up pretty sheltered, so I was very naive in my early 20s. Okay, I was very naive, and I believed people and the things that they said. When I went into the interview, my supervisor who interviewed me, she told me that even though the department was all women, all middle-aged women, everyone got along, okay? And they were just one big old happy work family. There was no drama, no cattiness. Everything was professional. So I went into the department thinking that was true. I was the youngest one there. I learned in corporate America, people are fake as fuck. And you gotta watch because they're slick with it. They are fake. And that is not your friend. They will sit with you in the break room. They'll kiki and caca with you. But don't get confused. They don't like you. They will even hang out with you off the clock. So they're not even getting paid to be around you at this point. But they still want to hang out with you for happy hour. They will still invite you to their weddings and their baby showers. But don't get confused. They don't like you. It's crazy. They will even spend their hard-earned money on you. So when it's your birthday, everyone comes together and pitches in to buy you a gift with their hard-earned money. But they don't like you. It's weird. They will even do Thanksgiving potlucks in the break room. But they don't like you. And best believe, all you have to do is piss off the right one. Piss off the right one. And they will make sure that every single day you work in that department will be a living hell. I made the mistake and I made friends with a woman who was 31. I was 23. And we used to do everything together. Out off the clock. She told me I was like the little sister she never had, and my naive ass believed her. And I was like, oh my God, you're like the older sister I never had. I was telling her all my tea. When we both decided to put in for a promotion, she decided to let my supervisor know everything I told her in confidence about that supervisor. And my supervisor made sure that every single day I worked in that department, I was miserable. Now that was my fault. I walked right into it. I should have knew better. I didn't know. I hated it. I must have put in hundreds, if not thousands of applications trying to get a new job. But no one was calling me back. I couldn't even get an interview. So I'm broke. I have really bad credit. And I hate my job. For the first time in my life, at 23 years old, I felt trapped. If you've never experienced what it feels like to feel trapped, consider yourself blessed. You are blessed. But let me give you some context. See, trapped feels like no matter what you do, your life's not going to get no better. That's how trapped feels. You could try to be positive and optimistic all you want, but it feels like nothing but negative ass shit from the time you wake up to the time you go to bed. That's how trapped feels. You can try to pick up overtime or get a part-time job to catch up on some bills, but it feels like as soon as you start saving a couple $100, something always comes up and slaps you in the face. Now your car won't start. Now you got to dish out money for that. It's always something. That's how trap feels. You could try to pray about it and ask God to help you, but it begins to feel like He's ignoring you because you still wake up with the same problems every single day. Your life begins to feel like a nightmare that you can't wake up from. That's how trap feels. And I lived like that for 6 years. I used to pull up at that job. I would sit in the car and I would cry before I even clocked in every day. I started to bring that job home with me. You know what that means? So you are clocked out. You should be at home being peaceful with your spouse, but you can't because now you're telling him all the toxic things they're doing to you at work. These people have taken over your mind and they're living in your head rent free. They have stolen your peace. You can't escape them. I used to be so stressed out about bills, I couldn't sleep anymore. I started to have anxiety and I was paranoid every day they were going to fire me. And to cope with all that anxiety, that depression, I started drinking. First, it was just a few drinks a week to calm my nerves, but that quickly spiraled out of control. And I became an alcoholic. And the only reason why I'm telling you any of this is because if any of my story is resonating with you, then you're already doing something hard. Going to a job that drains you every single day is hard. Crying because you are so stressed about bills is hard. And see, the reason why I was so depressed back then was because I had nothing in my life to look forward to. My life literally began to feel like it was on repeat. I didn't have any hobbies. I didn't have any interests. It was get up, go to work, be miserable, come home, cry, drink, sleep, repeat, week after week, month after month, year after year. But now I get to wake up every day doing what I love to do and getting paid to do it. And that's the beauty of online business is you can monetize anything. No, your idea is not stupid. No, your idea is not far-fetched. Literally anything you want to do, you can do it. And listen, I don't have to convince you. Look at your timeline. How many times do you scroll on your For You page and you ask yourself, how the hell are they getting paid to do that? You want to know how? You want to know how? Because they chose to let go of fear, and you choose to keep holding on to it. That's how. And I want to say one more thing to you before we move forward because I need to make sure you hear me loudly and clearly. I hope you realize that if you work 40 hours a week or more, you spend more time at work with people you don't even like than you do with your family who loves you. I literally worked 9 to 5. So what should have only been a 20-minute drive into the city was over an hour because I'm stuck in rush hour traffic. So an hour to work, an hour back, 2 hours in the car, 8 hours at work, 1 hour lunch break. That's 11 hours out of my day gone. It's gone. By the time I do get home, I am drained. I am exhausted. I feel defeated. You only have a few hours to spend with your spouse, your children, before you have to put everyone to bed, just to repeat the cycle again the next day. And let's be clear, your loved ones, they don't even get to experience the peaceful version of you because you're not peaceful. They don't get to experience the happy version of you because you're not happy. They get the depressed version of you. They get to experience the stressed version of you. They get the anxious version of you. You put everyone to bed just to repeat the cycle again the next day. just to look forward to the weekend. But respectfully, what the hell are you even looking forward to? Because Friday you still worked, so they still got 8 hours out you. Saturday is the only day you get to do what you love, but Sunday not so much. No, absolutely not. Because you have to prepare for the work week, right? Yeah, so that means you have to cook. You got to clean. You got to do laundry. You got to go to the grocery store. And then you have to mentally prepare yourself for the bullshit sitting on your desk come Monday. Ladies, that is not living. That's surviving. Life is meant to be lived, not survived. I don't know what your religious beliefs are, but I do know this. The God I serve, He loves me, and He loves me a lot. And let me ask you, if He loves me so much, why would He put me on this earth to be hating the very life that He blessed me with? He didn't. That's not why He put me here. He put me here for a very special reason. And He allowed me the opportunity to find it. And online business allowed me the opportunity to monetize it. He put you here for a very special reason, too. There's something extremely special about you, too. Your life is worth more than bills. Your life is worth more than slaving away at a job to make somebody else rich while you're counting pennies trying to make ends meet at home. There's something very special about you too. But the problem is, life has a tendency to life. And somewhere on our journey of life, we lose our light. It gets dim, and then it gets dark. Maybe it was toxic family. Maybe it was toxic friends. Maybe it was a toxic relationship. In my case, it was a toxic job. Something happened, and it stole your light. And now you're sitting here, not believing that any of this is possible for you. But I'm here to tell you that's not true. If you even thought the thought, that's because you can. I believe the ideas that we get come from God. If something within you told you, try this, start this, post this, that's because you can. God wouldn't give you ideas that you couldn't do. He wouldn't plant seeds in an environment that couldn't harvest them. If it was truly something that you were not capable of doing, it wouldn't have even crossed your mind. Wouldn't even cross your mind. But it did. Because you can. But in order to actually get it done, you're going to have to let go of fear. Because that fear that you're holding on to is stealing your dream life from you. It is stealing your peace from you. It is stealing your happiness from you. It is stealing your freedom from you. It is stealing your purpose from you. Gotta let go of fear. You can do this, ladies. But you gotta let go of fear. Okay? Okay. No more fear. Good morning for those of y'all who are just tuning in. My name is Coach Jazz. Sales tip number 2. People only buy from people that they like, know, and trust, okay? People only buy from people that they like, know, and trust. So if they don't like you, not gonna buy. If they don't know you, not gonna buy. And if they don't trust you, they're not gonna buy it. So how do we get people to like us? All right, well, we're gonna do that in our content. And for those of y'all who are just tuning in, we said content is anything that you upload to social media. So pictures, reels, long form YouTube videos. If you go live, statuses that you post on Facebook, Threads, Twitter, all of that is content, okay? You're going to get people to like you through your content by being relatable and being authentic in your content. In other words, you have to be yourself. Okay, the community that we build, so the viewers, the subscribers, the commenters, the followers, those are the people who are going to buy our products. But we do ourselves a disservice because we're trying to create perfect content, failing to realize that people can't connect with perfect content because they're not perfect. And then you're being inauthentic because you're not perfect. So I need you to just focus on being yourself. You have to be yourself. And don't let fear take over and try to convince you that no one will like you. That's impossible because there's 8 billion people in this world. So somebody is bound to like you. And I used to be fearful of that too, okay? Listen, you guys, when you post your content, it goes everywhere. The internet is what connects us from all over the world. There are people all over the world who need you. You have the very solution to their problem. You could help them, but you're so afraid to post that you're depriving people from the opportunity of learning from you. You guys, I have women inside of Glow Up Academy from all over the world. I'm in the US. There are women in there from Australia, Jamaica, Canada, Barbados, the UK. I have been in none of those countries. But I was able to help women from all over the world just because I decided to show up as myself and help people with what I know. What if I let fear take over this morning and I didn't go live? Well, then those of you guys watching wouldn't have been able to hear this message. And you wouldn't have been able to learn because I was letting fear take over. Welcome from Nigeria. That's my point, you guys. There are people everywhere. That's how the internet connects us. Okay? So please let go of the fear and just post your videos. There's a whole world out there who need you, and they will like you. I promise you they will. Okay? We said people only buy from people they like, know, and trust. Well, how do we get people to know us? Thank you so much for watching, Sanisha. Okay. You guys, I need you to go live. I need you to go live. And just so we're clear, whether you want to be a faceless creator or front and center, everything that we're talking about this morning, you're going to do. You can still go live and be faceless. Yes, you can. Okay. Going live is the best way to build your community. Now, is it the only way? No, but it's the best way. How? Because it allows people to get a sense of your energy and your vibes. It allows people to connect with you and engage and interact. And it allows you to promote your products. Now, some of y'all hard-headed as hell. You're going to say, that's great, Jazz, but I don't want to go live. Now, I'm going to just tell you, fine, don't. I told y'all earlier, I'm not going to try to convince you to do anything you don't want to do. So if you don't want to go live, don't. But I will remind you that you also said you didn't want to go to work. You said you were tired of living paycheck to paycheck and you were tired of feeling overworked and underpaid. It amazes me how many people are willing to bust their ass at their job to build wealth for someone else, but they absolutely refuse to take 30 minutes and build wealth for themselves. You see, I don't have to convince you, especially on TikTok, you see people all day and all night going live selling their products. True or false? People on TikTok are selling hair, makeup, clothes, lashes, nails, digital products. They're selling everything. All day, all night. The internet doesn't sleep. So I don't care when you go live, just go live. Now, some of you are like, well, Jazz, I would. I'm not against it. I'm just a little live shy. Okay. For those of you guys who are live shy, the only reason why you're live shy or camera shy or any type of shyness is just because you don't have enough experience doing it. Okay, it's not because you suck at life. It's not because this isn't meant for you. It's just because you don't have enough experience. Or maybe you did it once 6 months ago, but you haven't done it since. All right, we have been on this live for 104 minutes. And if I know anything about people, the reason why you're still here is because you trust what I'm saying to be true. If you thought I was truly full of shit, you would have left by now. So I need you to go ahead and trust this. If you go live consistently, I promise you, you will get to a point where you are no longer live shy. Anything that you do over and over and over again, you get better at. And I don't have to convince you. Look at the results in your own life. You didn't always know how to walk. Well, now you do that just fine. How? Because you consistently did it. You didn't always know how to read and write, but now you do that just fine. How? Because you consistently did it. You did not always know how to drive or do your job, and now you do that just fine. How? Because you consistently did it. So just imagine what would happen if you just consistently went live. I can't make this up. Go live. We said people only buy from people that they like, know, and trust. All right, cool. Well, how do we get people to trust us? Okay. There's a reason why I'm telling you to post content consistently. And no, it's not for your health. The reason why I'm telling you to post consistently is because the more people see you, the more they begin to trust you. Consistency builds trust. I don't know if you know this or not, or if you're living under a rock somewhere, but ladies, people work extremely hard for their money. You work hard. I work hard. Everyone is out here working hard. And if you want someone to trust you with their hard-earned money, well, then that's going to require you to be trustworthy, which means you have to be consistent. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Now, I want to do an exercise with you guys. For those of you guys who do not have a product yet, sit this out, take your notes. For those of you guys who do have a product, but you're struggling to make the sales that you want, this is for you. Okay. First, what we're going to do is we got to take the ego and the pride out of it. So if you can't, some of y'all can't do that because you think you know everything. And there's nothing anyone can teach you that you don't already know. I'm not going to convince you otherwise. Keep thinking that. Just know pride always comes before the fall. Now, for those of y'all who can remove ego and pride and you recognize there's room for growth and improvement, I'm talking to you. We're going to go to our profile and we're going to ask ourselves some questions. And we got to be honest. Write this down. The worst lies are the lies you tell yourself. I'm going to say that again. The worst lies are the lies you tell yourself. Don't you ever forget that. Now, ask yourself, is it clear who you are, what you do, and how you can help people? I also need you to ask yourself this, take the emotions out. If you were not you, would you buy from you? If you were not you, would you buy from you? If the answer to any of those questions is no, then you should no longer be confused as to why people are not buying from you yet. There should be no more confusion. But the reason why I say yet is because you have the power to fix it. So just fix it. Make it clear who you are, what you do, how you can help people, so that when people go to your profile, they know exactly what kind of problems you can help them solve. That is the beauty of life. That is the beauty of business. That is the beauty of everything that we've talked about so far on this live. Anything. Do not let that go over your head. Do not overthink. Anything that is not giving you the results that you want in your life, you have the power to fix it. But here's the problem. You make the choice not to. You make the choice not to. I already recognize and I have accepted the fact that I am not the life coach for everybody. I already recognize and I have accepted the fact that I am not the business coach for everybody. Because believe it or not, most people are not really looking for solutions to their problems. Most people are just looking to pass time. They're just looking for someone to complain and vent to. But the minute you give them the very solution to the problems that they have, they bail. They run away. Because they were never really looking to fix it. But I'm not here for that. That's not why I'm here. I am here to help the woman who truly wants to change her life. But in order to change your life, you have to become aware of what you've been doing, which means I have to tell you the truth so that we can fix it. If you are struggling with live shyness or camera shyness, fix it. I already told you how. Start going live consistently. Start sitting in front of the camera and talking to it consistently, and you will fix the shyness. And even though I gave you the exact solution to the problem that you have, most of you, as soon as I end this live, all you're going to do is hop into another one and waste more time. And then you're going to have the audacity to sit there and complain about you being live shy and camera shy. Well, at that point, that's a choice. You want to be live shy. You want to be camera shy because I gave you the solution to fix it, and you make the choice not to. If you are struggling with confidence or lack thereof, fix it. I already told you how. Start keeping the promises that you made to yourself. If you told yourself that you were going to create content, then create it. If you told yourself that you were going to start a business, then start it. If you told yourself that you were going to sell your products, then just sell them. If you told yourself you were going to lose weight, then lose it. And even though I gave you the exact solution to the problem that you have, most of you, as soon as I get off of this live, all you're going to do is hop into another one. All you're going to do is watch another YouTube video. Then you're going to sit there and complain about your lack of confidence. Well, at that point, that's a choice. You want to be insecure. Because if you truly didn't, you would do what I told you to do. But you make the choice not to. You are going to have to change. There are things about you, there are habits that you have that is keeping you from getting the results that you want. A lot of times, we don't want to leave our comfort zone. Our comfort zone is just our daily routines and habits. It's just what we do on a regular basis. The people that we talk to, the content that we consume, the distractions that we have, it's just our comfort zone. But notice how the results that we're looking for aren't in that comfort zone. If they were, you wouldn't be here. See, my content and my platforms are to help women become their highest version. And if you were already that, or if you were actively working towards that, you wouldn't be here. You would be doing the things. But you're here because you are struggling with getting the results that you want. But the reason why you're struggling to get the results that you want is because you refuse to take a half an inch out of that comfort zone and do something a little bit different. You always talk about what you'll do later and tomorrow and next year, and those days never come. That comfort zone that you refuse to leave is draining you. That comfort zone that you refuse to leave is frustrating you. And notice, we have become so comfortable with being unhappy. You have been living in that comfort zone of yours for years. You've had these daily routines and habits for years that you have become comfortable with being insecure. You have become comfortable with caring what people think. You have become comfortable with stress. You don't see that? But every day you have a choice. You can either choose to keep doing what you've been doing, or you can make the choice to do something a little bit different, to slowly get you to the results that you've always wanted for your life. But in order to get those results that you've always wanted for your life, you're going to have to switch some things up. You're going to have to take a half an inch out of that comfort zone of yours and do something different. See, a lot of us have a trapped mindset. And you have been living in this trapped mindset for so long that you don't even recognize that you're living in one. And I told y'all earlier, we attract what we are. I know a lot of people don't want to believe that. I didn't want to believe that either, but it's true. And the people you have around you, whether you want to believe it or not, y'all are very similar to each other. If y'all were complete opposites, you wouldn't even get along. So what you have done was you have surrounded yourself with other people who have trap mindsets. So it's just a whole bunch of trap-minded people giving trap-minded advice. But I'm here to tell you, you are not trapped. You are not trapped. You are not trapped. And you always have choices. You always have options. But in order to get untrapped and to get to the results that you want, you're going to have to take a half an inch out of that comfort zone and do something a little bit different. Even if it's not what people would typically want to do, that's the only way you're going to get out of it. That's the only way. I used to have a trap mindset too. I really used to believe I was trapped at that 9 to 5. And there was nothing that anyone could tell me to convince me otherwise. I believed with my soul that I was trapped there. And how things were back then was how it was always going to be until the day I died. That's really what I thought. But I was never trapped at that job. I had options. I had choices I could have made. But the choices that I could have made were going to require me to take a half an inch out of my comfort zone. Even if it was just temporary, even if it was just to get me something better later. I didn't want to do that because I had gotten comfortable with being miserable. I had gotten comfortable with being depressed. But I was never trapped. See, I could have quit that job and just moved back home. I had that option. I still have that option. If things don't go the way I need to go, I have the option until my mom passes to move back home. But the mindset I had back then was, if I move back home, that's going backwards. That's me failing. I can't move back home after I moved out. What? I really believe that. And so I made the choice to stay miserable. I made the choice to stay at a job that I absolutely hated, that was depressing me, than to just quit and move back home, because the mindset I had was that's moving backwards. But you want to know what's really moving backwards? You want to know what's really failing? Living a life that you're not happy with. That's what's really moving backwards. I could have quit that job and just went back to fast food. That's what I came from. I've worked at McDonald's, I've worked at Hardee's, I've worked at Burger King, I've worked so many fast food places. Yeah, it would have sucked. Yeah, I wouldn't have been making what I was making, but guess what? At least I wouldn't have been at the job that was draining me. But you want to know the mindset I had back then? You want to know the truth? I thought I was too good for it. I sure did. Because back then my mindset was, well, I have a college degree, so why should I go to fast food? Do you know how ridiculous that sounds? You know how ridiculous that sounds? So I made the choice to stay at a job that was causing me to drink every day because I was so freaking unhappy, then to just quit, go back to fast food until I found something better. And then I'm surrounded by other people at the job who also had that same mindset. So I made the choice to stay. I made the choice to complain and vent and talk about what wasn't fair. I made the choice to throw pity parties for myself. I made the choice to stay. I chose to do all of the things except the one thing that would have changed my entire life forever, which was leave. All I had to do was leave. That's it. I was never trapped at that job. Some of you guys have convinced yourself that you don't have the ability to fix your problems yet because you really believe that you just need more information. And you have convinced yourself with your soul that if you just watch more TikTok videos, if you just watch more YouTube videos, if you just archive more reels about how to level up, if you just ask ChatGPT more questions, then you will gather the information you need, and then you can fix your problems later. But I am here to tell you, you are not lacking information. No, you're not. Because let's just be real. Most of you are on social media all day long. So you have all the information that you need. You have seen all of the TikTok live coaches at least once. You have already watched countless YouTube videos about how to create your ebook, how to build your platforms. You have already asked ChatGPT thousands of questions last week. You have all the information that you need. You are not lacking information. What you are lacking is implementation, meaning you don't execute shit. Which is why I made the keyword of this live, execution, because you're not doing that. You are the woman who will consistently talk about what she's going to do, but she won't just get it done. You are the woman who consistently talks about later and tomorrow and next year, but those days never come. You are the woman who talks about what she's not good at and what's not going to work for her. You are the woman who complains and vents and talks about her problems. You are the woman who does all of the things except the one thing that will change your entire life, which is start. You won't even start. And until you start, until you execute, nothing that we're talking about is going to happen. You are going to have to change that because there are things about you that are getting in your own way. I have been saying this entire live. You keep holding you back. It's your excuses. It's your procrastination. It is all of the things, your daily routines and habits. Excuse me. And until you change you, nothing for you is going to change. Some of y'all really think that if you just purchase more e-courses, that it'll just magically fix itself. I'm here to tell you that's not true. Some of y'all, be honest, just be real. Some of y'all have already maxed out Afterpay and Klarna because you keep looking for solutions on how to make more money, except doing the thing that'll actually make you more money, which is start. You're going to have to change who you are. You are holding you back. Your lack of discipline, your lack of follow through, your lack of consistency, your lack of prioritizing yourself in your own life. You're doing for everyone else, but at what point are you going to do something for you? And until you change that, nothing's going to change. I'm going to assume you want to be the version of yourself who is consistent. I'm going to assume you want to be the version of yourself who's posting her content and not caring what people think, who's not second guessing herself, who shows up even when she doesn't feel like it. I'm going to assume you want to be the version of you who respects herself, who knows how to have boundaries, who knows how to cut people off who are using you and abusing you. I'm going to assume that's the version of you want to be. But until you change who you are today, you will never become that version. That version of you is within, okay? And you are more than capable of being that version. But until you let go of the fear, until you let go of the excuses, until you let go of the procrastination, you will never become that version. You are going to have to change. Or you can keep doing what you've been doing and continue to get the results that you've been getting. The choice is always yours. What I've noticed in society today is we have become extremely entitled. Entitlement is at an all-time high. And so many people have been entitled for so long, they don't even recognize how entitled they are. Some of y'all really believe deep down in your soul that you are entitled to time. You really believe that. You really believe that you are entitled to time. And you believe that if you don't start changing today, you can change next week. And if you decide you don't want to change next week, you can change next month. And if you decide that you don't want to change next month, you always have next year. You really believe that. You have become entitled to time. But I am confused because the last time I checked, tomorrow wasn't guaranteed. So my question for you is, how do you know that you'll always have tomorrow to change? How do you know that you'll always have next month to get it right? How do you know you always have next year to reset? How do you know that? You don't know that because you are not entitled to time. Time is your most precious, valuable asset. Okay? I hate to break it to you, but it's not money. Some of y'all don't believe that. Some of y'all really value money over time. And that's crazy because you could lose 50 bucks. Yeah, it would suck. Of course you'd be pissed. I'd be pissed too. But guess what? You can still go make 50 more. Might take you a little while, sure, but you can make it. But when you lose your time, you don't get a second of that back. It's gone forever. 2025 came and left, and you don't get not 1 second of that precious, valuable time that you wasted. The only thing you get is regret, is resentment. You don't want to carry those emotions with you every day. Those emotions, regret, shame, guilt, will weigh you down. You are not entitled to time. And instead of you living life with the time that you are blessed with, happy in your purpose, doing what's best for you and your family, sticking to the promises that you made to yourself, you choose not to. You choose to waste your precious, valuable time scrolling social media. You choose to waste your precious, valuable time binge watching movies and TV shows. You choose to spend your precious time complaining and venting instead of creating the life that you've always wanted to live. You're going to have to change that. And I don't have to convince you of how quickly time is moving because you can see that for yourself. Be honest. How many times a day do you look at the clock and say to yourself, wow, I cannot believe it's 8:13 in the morning. Wow, I cannot believe it's already the middle of April 2026. Wow, I cannot believe I am 35 years old, or insert your age there. If you're anything like me, you do that every day. So you already see for yourself how quickly time is moving. And you still make the choice to waste your precious, valuable time. That's got to change. Get off these apps, execute the plan, and live your life. Get off the apps. You got to change. You got to change. Because there's things about you that's getting in the way. You got to change. One of the toughest reality pills that I had to swallow in my own glow up journey, and this is tough. This is going to bruise your ego, so brace yourself. Your life and the direction that it's going in, whether it's going great or not so great, is a direct reflection of the choices that you make. I told you guys I used to be 100 pounds overweight. So my obesity was a direct reflection of the foods that I chose to eat and the exercises that I chose not to do. It was a direct reflection of that. Can't argue. Your life is a direct reflection of the choices that you make. So for those of you guys struggling financially, your finances are a direct reflection of the choices that you make. When I heard that, my ego shattered. Because for the longest time, I really believed that the reason why I was living paycheck to paycheck was because I just didn't make enough money. And I convinced myself that if I just made more money, that paycheck to paycheck lifestyle would go away. No. You want to know why I was living paycheck to paycheck? You want to know the truth? Because I was living above my means. I sure was. I was buying cars that I couldn't afford. I was living in apartments that I couldn't afford. And the reason why I was stressed about money was because of the choices that I made. That's the truth. That is the cold, hard truth. Now, some of y'all might be like, Jazz, I hear you. People do live above their means, but that's not why I'm struggling. I know why I'm struggling. I'm struggling because times are hard. Jazz, how can I get ahead in this economy? Food prices, gas prices, rent prices are out of this world. I can't even afford to be alive right now. How's that my fault? I hear you. But I'm still going to repeat myself. Your finances are a direct reflection of the choices that you make. And I'm going to tell you why. Ladies, let's be honest with ourselves. Times have been hard. True or false? This didn't happen last night. Food prices and rent prices and gas prices have been on the rise for years. But every day you make the choice to do nothing about it. Because let's be clear, you already knew what an ebook was. I didn't teach you that because you're on social media all day. You could have launched your ebook 6 months ago. You would be making sales today. You already knew YouTube was paying people to create content. I didn't teach you that. You could have started your YouTube channel 4 months ago. It could be monetized today. You could have started your TikTok account last month and building your community. And what did we say? The community that you build, your viewers, your subscribers, your followers, those are the people who buy your digital products. But every day you make the choice not to. You choose to scroll. You choose to complain. You choose to vent and throw pity parties for yourself. You choose to talk about what's not fair. You choose to tell yourself what you can't do, what you're not good at. You choose to do all of the things except the one thing that will change your entire life forever, which is start. And until you change that, you won't get the results that you want. You got to start. You got to execute. You got to actually do what we're talking about, not making excuses. And look, I'm not perfect by any means, okay? Nothing about me is perfect. And the version of me that you guys see today is a reflection of the changes that I had to make. I told you guys I used to be 100 pounds overweight, and for years I was just getting bigger. I used to yo-yo diet. So I would lose 20, gain 30. Lose 50, gain 60. I could never keep the weight off. And I was just getting bigger. But I told you guys the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. I had made it clear to myself I didn't know how to lose weight. And I didn't know how to keep it off. If I truly knew how to do that, I would have done it by now. So I had to change something up. I decided to do something different. I decided to hire a personal trainer. Changed my life forever. Changed my life forever. Not only did I lose 100 pounds that go around, I have since kept it off for 4 years. I told you, you attract what you are. You're a reflection of the people you're around. My whole family is obese. All of my friends at that time were obese. My personal trainer was the first person in my life who prioritized wellness. I got to see what it was like firsthand, that no matter how busy you are, you still have to move your body. He showed me no matter how busy your schedule is, you still need to eat most of your foods at home. And his influence rubbed off on me. He also held me accountable. I couldn't make excuses because when I wasn't losing weight, he knew I was still doing stuff I shouldn't have been doing. Changed my life. He's still my personal trainer to this day. I used to be full of excuses. I used to procrastinate too. My motto was, why do today what I can put off till tomorrow? In other words, I'll just start later, but later never showed up. I was always tomorrow and Monday, next year. That had to change. I used to live in fear too. I used to be scary as hell. And notice the fears that we hold on to. These are things that haven't even happened. We're literally hyping ourselves for worst case scenario. It's always worst case. Notice that? You notice that? We're literally hyping ourselves for worst case scenario. We never look at best case. For years, I knew I needed thyroid surgery. I finally built up the courage to go get it done. My worst case scenario is, what if I don't wake up? But best case scenario, I get it done. Now I can live a healthy life. I was hyping myself up for years about worst case. What if you post your content and you finally feel good about yourself, that you want to do it again? And then you do it again. And now you're building your community. And now you're building your community. And now you're selling your products. Why is worst case scenario, oh, if I post, everyone's going to laugh at me and I'm going to fail? Why do we do that? Why do we do that? Make it make sense. I don't know. But that's got to change. I used to be my biggest bully to myself. I know a lot of you can relate to that. The things I used to say to myself was absolutely disgusting. You know, I used to call myself stupid on a regular basis. Yes, I would call myself stupid every day. Now let me ask you, how was I going to be a successful entrepreneur if I'm calling myself stupid? I couldn't. I had to change. Ladies, your internal world, what you have going on here, is a reflection of your external, okay? If you talk to yourself disrespectfully internally, I know for a fact you have people in your real life who disrespect the hell out you. I already know that. I already know that because that's how you talk to yourself. If you have chaos going on in here mentally, I know for a fact your life is chaotic as hell, all over the place. Can't focus on nothing because that's how you do yourself in here. You have got to start speaking to yourself with respect. Put some respect on your name. If you wouldn't say that to a child, you have no business saying it to yourself. No, you're not stupid. You're not dumb. There's nothing wrong with you. You are more than capable. Change that. One of the biggest distractions that I struggled with in my own journey was alcohol abuse. And I told you guys I started that toxic ass habit when I had that toxic ass job. And you would have thought that once I quit the job, then that problem would have just went away. Nope. Ladies, let me tell you this. Your problems don't just magically go away. Hi, D. If you don't intentionally fix them, they just get worse. My weight was just getting worse. My alcohol abuse was getting worse. See, at least when I had the job, I couldn't be drunk for 8 hours because I had to work. Well, I quit my job during COVID. Everything was shut down. I had nothing but time to drink. And I took full advantage. See, I had quit my job on a whim. Okay, I had been there for 6 years. I was turning 30 in a few months, and I just got fed up. And I was like, you know what? F this job. I'm out of here. And I also believe God was pulling me to quit. Like that idea just kept weighing on me. Quit. The time is now. Quit now. Quit now. So I just decided to quit. Put in my 2-week notice. I was out the door. And the crazy thing is, I had just bought a house. I had only been in that house for about 6 months before I quit, but I couldn't take it anymore. But the plan was I was going to live off of my stimulus for a few months while I grew my business, and then my business could take over from there. Now, granted, I don't have any children. Okay, so my stimulus check was not that much. I had about $2,000 to my name. And that wasn't going to get me very far because the mortgage was $1,900. Okay, so the math wasn't mathing in the first place, but I didn't care. So I quit. So now I'm at home, trying to make all this stuff make sense. Digital products, content, monetizations, platforms. I'm watching YouTube videos. I'm watching TikTok lives. Just trying to make it all make sense. But it's not working. Nobody's buying my products. Nobody's watching my content. I had a lot of ego and pride back then. Okay, my mindset was Jasmine is perfect as is, and it's never my fault for anything. Okay, so if you had an issue with me, that's really your fault because Jasmine is good. I couldn't figure out why my stuff wasn't selling. So instead of looking within and blaming me, I'm blaming YouTube. Well, YouTube doesn't like me. The algorithm doesn't like me. Instagram doesn't like me. The algorithm doesn't like me because it's not me. Because Jasmine is perfect as is. Let's be clear. I didn't want to admit to myself that I'm the reason why it's not working. The reason why it wasn't working was because I was always drunk. I was not posting content consistently. I was not going live. I wasn't doing any of those things because I was always drunk. But I was convincing myself that I was. The worst lies are the lies you tell yourself. Don't you ever forget that. Then I'm getting pissed off at God because I'm getting stressed about money because I'm running out of it. I'm like, God, you told me to quit. You told me the time is now. I quit and I'm running out of money. If I don't pay my mortgage next month, they're going to start trying to foreclose on a house I hadn't been in for a whole year. I had already missed one payment. I couldn't miss another. I was stressed and I was pissed. I couldn't say to myself, Jazz, you have a drinking problem. The embarrassment, the guilt, the shame. I couldn't do it. So I just continued to lie to myself some more. And I convinced myself that as long as I don't drink before 11 a.m., I'm not an alcoholic. Because in my mind back then, alcoholics, they start their day with alcohol. So as long as I wait till after 11, even though I drink all day, every day, as long as I don't start my day with alcohol, then I don't have a problem. So there's nothing to talk about. What? I can't make this up. The worst lies are the lies you tell yourself. But notice you get to a point where you can't keep running from yourself. Eventually, you hit a brick wall, and the pain of staying the same outweighs the pain of change. See, I believe God is within you. He's not outside of you. He's within you. So those ideas that you get, that's God talking to you, telling you to do this, try this, post this, start this. He's talking to you all day. That intuition, that feeling, that gut that you get, that is God talking to you, trying to warn you. But notice we spend way too much time trying to avoid listening to God. So we'll distract ourselves to avoid it. We say we listen because it sounds good in conversation. But the truth is, you don't listen. Because deep down inside, you know exactly what you should be doing. You know exactly what you should be doing. Don't gaslight yourself, but you choose not to. Oh, that's not true? Okay, well, let me ask you, if that's not true, how many ideas did God give you last year that you didn't even try? If that's not true, well, then let me ask you, how many times have you gone against your gut feeling just to find out later you were right? Exactly. We never want to listen. But eventually, you're going to hit a brick wall. And God is going to force you to listen. And I will never forget, I was sitting on my bed crying, scared I was about to lose my house. I was like, God, they're going to take my house. I don't have the money. I'm going to lose my house. And God said, Jazz, what are you doing? You have been begging me for a business for years, which is true. I have been. He said the opportunity is literally right in front of you, and you're wasting it. So what are we going to do? Are you going to keep doing what you've been doing, which is a whole bunch of nothing? Or are we going to fix it? Are we going to change? I decide to fix it. I decide to change. I decide to stop drinking. I haven't had a drink in almost 5 years. I will never touch alcohol again. I am done. And since I decided to change, my whole life began to change. I started posting consistently. My platform started growing. Started making sales. All because I decided to change. For the first time in my life, I started saying nice things to myself. Now I'm telling myself I'm amazing. I can do this. I'm really smart. I never used to talk to myself like that. Never. For the first time in my life, I started to feel good about myself because I decided to change. I started to have confidence in myself, something I never had before, all because I decided to change. See, what a lot of people fail to realize, and what I didn't realize back then, was this. Ladies, in order to get something, you are going to have to give up something. You can't have both. In order to get something, you have to give something up. In order for me to lose 100 pounds, I had to give up fast food. I had to give up soda. But you know what I got in return? My health. I got my health. In order for me to get the business that I had been begging God for years, I had to give up excuses. I had to give up distractions. I had to give up procrastination. I had to give up fear. I had to give up negative self-talk. I had to give up alcohol. But when I gave those things up, God opened the floodgates of heaven for me. He gave me everything I asked for and more. See, I had just asked God to help me make $60,000 a year to replace the job. I even started negotiating that. I said, Lord, if you can help me make $45K a year, I'll cut the cable off. Just please help me get out this job. God gave me 6 figures. I asked God for 1,000 Instagram followers because I don't even know 10 people. So I'm like, shit, if I could get 1,000 people to follow me, wow, I will take it. God gave me 100,000 Instagram followers. I asked God for 5,000 YouTube subscribers. I was like, that'd be pretty cool. 5,000 people watching my videos? Wow. God gave me 30,000 YouTube subscribers and counting. I asked God for just a little bit of confidence so I could stop crying all the time and feeling sorry for myself. God gave me a lot of confidence. I keep all of the promises I make to myself. I can't even remember the last time I cried. All because I decided to change. See, the version of me I was back then didn't align with who I wanted to become. I always wanted to become this version. This version of me is very confident in herself. She posts her content, doesn't care what people think, knows how to cut people off who use and abuse her. I know how to put myself first in my own life and not feel guilty about it. But who I was back then didn't align with this. And this version of me was always within, but it was buried under the fear and the excuses and the procrastination. And until I changed who I was never going to become this version. Wasn't going to happen. A lot of times we delay our own blessings. Because let's be clear, you already told God what you want for your life. You've told him time and time again. He heard you loudly and clearly. He knows what side of town you want to live on. He knows what kind of vacations you want to take your family. And he knows how much money you want to leave your children. He knows all of the things. He heard you. And he's ready to give it all to you on a silver platter. But the problem is, he gives us free will. So that means you can do whatever the hell you want to do. He won't stop you. So if you want to waste 5 years, he'll let you. You want to waste 20 years, he'll let you. Some people never get all of their blessings because they refuse to change who they are. But when you do change, when you finally listen, when you finally become obedient, he gives you everything you could have ever imagined and more. And sure, maybe you're right. Maybe change is hard. Okay, cool. Maybe you're right. But the life you're currently living is hard. Making payment arrangement after payment arrangement, robbing Patrice to pay Paula, going to a job that drains your spirit every single day is hard. Crying because you're so unhappy with the way things are going right now is hard. Knowing deep down in your soul, you can feel it in your spirit that there is something better for you and not living it, that's hard. No, that's hard. I've lived both hards. And I will always choose this one because at least this hard comes with peace. You can't even put a price tag on that. This hard comes with purpose. This hard comes with freedom. This hard comes with the income that you need to live the life that you want. This hard comes with confidence to finally feel good about yourself. I keep telling you, and I've told you time and time again all morning, if you even thought the thought, that's because you can. Okay? I told you, I believe that the ideas we get come from God. And he wouldn't even have told you to start a business if it was something you weren't capable of doing. He wouldn't have even have told you to post content if it wasn't something you could do. If it was truly something you couldn't do, it wouldn't even have crossed your mind. But it did. Because you are more than capable of getting it done. But in order to actually get it done, you're going to have to let go of fear. You're going to have to make the decision that you're going to take a half an inch out of your comfort zone to get closer to the results that you want in your life. That comfort zone that you refuse to leave is draining you. I don't have to convince you. Just ask yourself how you feel. It's frustrating you. It is keeping you depressed. Your daily routines and habits is wasting your precious, valuable time. I keep telling you, get off of these apps. I post my content and I get off. I live my life. Get off of these apps. In order to get to the life you want, you're going to have to take a half inch out. You're going to have to decide, I'm going to do something different today. 20 minutes. That's it. Just imagine how far you would get if every day you spent 20 minutes working on your goals. Just imagine what kind of life you would live in 6 months. Just imagine what kind of life you would live in a year. Just imagine what kind of life you would live in 5 years from now. And some of you can say, that's too much time. No, it's not. It's already the middle of April. And it feels like just yesterday was January 1st. You see how quickly time is moving. It's not that long. You're going to have to change. You are going to have to change. For those of you guys who want to change, then I want to help you. But I can only help people who want it. I can't help people who don't. If you are 1000% happy with your life and the direction that it's going in, then fine, keep doing what you're doing. If you like it, I love it. If it's not broke, don't fix it. Don't even fix it. But if you're not 1000% happy with the way things are going and you want to change, then I want to help you. Inside of Glow Up Academy, I'm going to teach you how to start and run your online business from scratch. Everything that you need is in there. Maybe you don't want to sell an ebook. I know that's what we focused on this morning, but maybe your vision is an e-course, or maybe you want to do a private community. Fine, I'll teach you. It's all in there. Maybe you want to sell your products on TikTok Live, how I do, how my students do, how thousands of other creators do. Fine, I'll teach you. It's in there. Maybe you want to get paid to post, so you want to get paid for views, whether that's on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. Fine, I'll teach you. All of my platforms are monetized. Anything that you want to do, whatever the vision is for your business, we will build it. It is all inside of Glow Up Academy. But not only are we going to build your business inside of Glow Up Academy, most importantly, we're going to build you. Inside of Glow Up Academy, you and I are going to build your discipline day by day. Inside of Glow Up Academy, you and I are going to build your consistency day by day. Inside Glow Up Academy, you and I are going to build your confidence day by day. Inside of Glow Up Academy, you and I are going to start making you a priority in your own life. We are going to figure out what works best for you. What works best for one does not work best for all. We sure do all have the 24 hours, but we don't all have the same responsibilities. Glow Up Academy is the space where not only do we build our business, but we build who we are. So we can finally become the version of ourselves that not only starts, but actually follows through. Now, before I let you join Glow Up Academy, there's a couple of things. First thing, I'm going to set a timer for 10 minutes because I told you I only want to help people who don't. I'm not here to convince you to change. I'm not here to force you to change. I'm only here to help the woman who has hit her brick wall and she actually wants to change. So, when the timer starts, just move. Because I believe deep down inside, you know what you want to do and you know what you should do. And if there is something pulling you to join, then move. Just move. Because once that timer goes off, I'm taking the link down, and you won't be able to join until I'm ready to accept more people. Number two, yes, I got you. Number two, Glow Up Academy, I'm only going to accept 10 people at a time, okay? Because believe it or not everybody has the same path. Some people have a product, but no audience. Some people have an audience, no product. Some people have a million ideas, but we got to lock in on one. So you're listening to all the ideas God gave you, but you're spreading yourself too thin. Together, you and I are going to pick your most favorite. Okay, we're going to choose one idea that you love the absolute most, and that's the idea that we're going to grow. And you're going to stick with that one idea. Okay, and then once that one idea is flourishing, then we'll reach back into the pile and we'll pull up another. All right, but we're going to lock in on one. Some of you guys don't know what you want to build, and that's fine. We'll figure it out together. And some of you guys don't want to build a business right now. There are other things you want to work on. Maybe you want to work on weight loss. Maybe you want to work on confidence. Maybe you want to work on prioritizing yourself. You never put yourself first. No matter what it is you want to achieve, we'll achieve it together. I can help you. I had this notice for myself. Having more than 10 people join at one time overwhelms me. And I want to make sure I'm able to pour into you the way that you deserve. So that's why I cap it at 10 members at a time, and I don't accept more until I'm ready. Okay? One last thing, Glow Up Academy is lifetime access. So once you're inside forever. There's no monthly dues, there's no annual dues or anything like that. It's one time. Okay? You will always, once you join, you will always have access to our live coaching calls. You will always have access to ask me any questions that you have. I respond to all of my students, and I'm consistently checking in with you guys to make sure that you're executing the plan that you and I set up for you. Okay, everyone's different, so your plan may be different from someone else's. So you always have access to all those things. You also always have access to the information that's in there. I'm consistently updating it because things change, like algorithms, platforms, everything changes, right? Nothing stays the same. So I'm always updating that stuff. So once you're in, you're inside forever, okay? Glow Up Academy lifetime access is $5.97, and it's worth every penny, and people join at $5.97. However, because you guys sat here, you took your notes, you asked questions, and most importantly, you promised me you were going to execute, I'm going to take the price down, okay? And lifetime access price will stay down for the 10 minutes the timer is going. But once that timer goes off, it goes back to $5.97, okay? You can use Afterpay or Claudia to break that payment up and get in while it's cheaper, right? But once the timer goes off, we're taking it back up, all right? I'm going to show you guys how to join, and then I'll set the timer. YouTube, y'all's instructions are a tad bit different, so just kind of hang tight for a few seconds. Oh, real quick, let me show you inside of the community. This is really important. Ladies, there's an inbox icon right here, okay? As soon as I get off of this live, so in approximately 10 minutes, I'm going to start speaking to you. I want to know more about you. I'm going to send you a message. I want to know, what have you tried? What's working for you? What's not? What your ideas are? Please make sure you respond to my message. I know some of you guys are going to be busy with your family today, or you have to work. Fine. Before you go to bed tonight, I need you to respond to the message that I sent you so we can start executing your plan. I can't figure out when you're going to squeeze things in. I can't figure out what your starting point is going to be if I don't know what's wrong. Okay, so the quicker you respond to my message, the quicker we can execute a plan for you. What works for one person may not work for someone else. So I want to cater it to you, but I can't do that if you don't respond. And then plus, I'm always checking in to make sure that things are going smoothly. Okay, so please make sure you respond. There's a message icon here, okay, and there'll be a red button, a red icon that says 1. So please make sure you respond to me. Okay, I wanted to show you guys that. All right, I'm gonna show TikTok how to join first. YouTube, y'all just hang tight for a few seconds. TikTok, in order for you guys to lock in, okay. You're going to click on my profile picture up at the top twice. Now, I'm on two TikToks. The one that says turn your phone into an ATM. Y'all are on my main account, so my profile does not look like this, but the link is still the same, okay? You're going to click right here where it says stand.store. And then here we are. Become the woman who actually follows through. And it is marked down for the next 10 minutes from $5.97 to $2.49 lifetime access. Scroll down. Feel free to read my reviews. I don't mind. Enter your name and quadruple check. Enter your name and quadruple check your email address. You guys, this is critical. The email address that you put in is where everything's going. Okay. I need you to make sure that you quadruple check that because sometimes the autocorrect on the emails it switches up some letters. Okay, so please quadruple check that. You can use Afterpay or Klarna down here, and then click this blue button that says Start My Glow Up. Within 30 seconds tops, you should be receiving the very first email from Stan. The second email you're going to get is going to come from me. It says Jasmine Spencer. I'm Jasmine Spencer. In that second email, you're going to see a yellow button inside that says Join Glow Up Academy now. I want you to click it, and you will have full access inside of the community. And I want you to come back to this live and confirm to me that you have full access. If you didn't get those emails or if there's a technical issue, we'll fix it right here on live. So that's why I need you to come back and let me know that you see everything. Okay? YouTube, in order for you guys to lock in, you're going to leave the live. You're going to come to my YouTube channel. You're going to click on this link right here that says stand.store. And then here we are, same thing. Become the woman who actually follows through. Okay? Scroll down. It is marked down to $2.49 lifetime access. Enter your name, quadruple check your email address, feel free to read my reviews. Use Afterpay or Klarna, and then click Start My Glow Up. Okay? I'm going to go ahead and start our timer now. Give me 1 second. Okay, timer has started, and I see a couple people already joined. I'm about to send out that second email. You guys, the second email is what's going to give you lifetime access. So I need you to confirm to me that not only you got it, but that you have full access inside. Okay. And like I said, in a few minutes, I'm going to be hopping off and messaging you. Okay, Veronica, can you check your email for me, please? I'm waiting for Veronica. And 1 second. Tiff. Veronica and Tiff, I just sent you that second email. And RPG. Veronica, Tiff, RPG. I need you guys to confirm that you received your email. Wait for that. We have a few more minutes. Let's do some of our affirmations this morning. Hold on, let me put my phone on the charger. Veronica, Tiff, and RPG. I'm waiting for you guys. Please don't leave till you confirm. Because I don't know if there was a spelling mistake because I don't know what your email is supposed to be. Okay. Ooh, here we go. I am confident in the decisions I make. I am confident in the decisions I make. And if you're not, that's a problem. This is why I spent so much time this morning talking about confidence. I spend way more time. I would say about 90% of my students, we spend way more time talking or building our confidence and following through with the things that we say we're going to do. Because once that confidence is built, there's no more issues with posting your content. Once that confidence is built, you're not worried about if your idea is good enough because you already know you add value to the people who you're trying to serve. Once that confidence is built, you're not worried and second guessing, well, I shouldn't post this because I don't want it to be annoying, because you already know you're not annoying. You already know that your community is going to value the information that you're giving. Thank you, Julie. Confidence is key. And this is why I keep telling you, keep the promises that you made to yourself. It's critical. I cannot stress this enough. It's critical. There should be no reason why you care what people think about you. They're not paying your bills. And the fact that you do, there's no shade. We've all been there. I've been there. But that already shows you we got work to do. Once your confidence is built and you feel you know that you add value, you feel good about yourself, you building your business, that's second nature. because now you know who you are. So I spend way more time helping people building their confidence, following through, being consistent, prioritizing themselves in their own life. Because all the business stuff, that becomes secondary. It becomes second nature, excuse me, because you are already showing up for yourself. Now you're gonna put yourself first. It's not for discussion. So if that means you can't go to happy hour because you're gonna do this, then so be it. You're not even feeling bad about it because now you have confidence and you know you're worth it. Okay? So the very first step, if you're lacking confidence, is building that confidence. That's number one. I am capable of achieving my dreams. I am capable of achieving my dreams. Amen to that. You are. But are you going to put yourself first so you can get it done? Because if you don't, it doesn't matter how amazing the dreams are. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Ooh. I am strong, capable, and resilient. Perfect. Thank you. I am strong, capable, and resilient. Let me check. Okay. Veronica, I see you're inside. You're good. I'm still waiting on RPG and Tiff. RPG and Tiff. I need y'all to confirm that y'all received that second email. Okay. I'm strong, capable, and resilient. We said this earlier. You don't even give yourself credit, which goes back to lack of confidence. Because the thing is this, I could tell you what kind of content to post on your YouTube to get more views, to get people to subscribe, to get monetized. But if you don't even believe that you're worthy of success, you're going to self-sabotage. If you don't even believe you're worthy of happiness, you're going to self-sabotage. You're going to say things like, well, no one's going to watch that. That's self-sabotage. You're going to say things like, well, 20 million people are already doing that. But they're not you. They're not you. They're not you. One of my YouTube channels is a weight loss and fitness channel. And there are a lot of fitness creators. The internet's full of them, right? But the reason why I was able to grow that YouTube channel was because those other fitness creators aren't me. I was showing someone losing 100 pounds. I was showing my journey of losing 100 pounds, no weight loss surgery, no Ozempic. My story is different from someone who might have never struggled with weight. My story is different than someone who lost weight who has children. I don't have children. So everyone's journey is different. They're not me. And I'm not them. So it doesn't matter how many people are doing the thing. Your perspective, your journey, your content is different. Your personality is different. Some people are loud and boisterous. Some people are more chill, calm, right? Everyone's different. But if you have confidence, you know that your community is going to find you. You don't need to chase virality because you know that you're going to attract the audience who appreciates what you have to say. But that only comes with confidence. If you don't have confidence in yourself, you're not going to look at it that way. You're going to look at it in the way of, well, everyone else is already doing that, so I shouldn't do that. This is a confidence problem. That's what all this is. Because you could watch 20 million people on how to level up, right? There's a lot of creators who do that. How to level up, how to level up. But you're watching me because my perspective is different from theirs. Just like their perspective is different from mine. Everyone's different. And everyone has value to add. Okay? So we gotta build that confidence. Tiff, I'm still waiting on you. I think RPG joined. Y'all, please don't leave until you let me know you got your email. Okay. I'm going to show you guys one more time. That was our timer, and then we're closing it out. TikTok, in order for you guys to lock in, you're going to click on my profile picture up at the top twice, come to my profile. Don't forget, you guys, I'm on 2 TikToks. So the one that says turn your phone into an ATM, y'all are on my main account. This is my backup, so it doesn't look like this, but the link is still the same. You're going to click where it says stand.store. And then here we are. Become the woman who actually follows through. And then YouTube, you guys are going to leave the live. You're going to come to my channel. And then click where it says stand.store right here. Okay. Same thing. Become the woman who actually follows through. And it is marked down from $5.97 to $2.49 lifetime access. Scroll down. Enter your name, quadruple check your email address. You can use Afterpay or Klarna, and then click the blue button, Start My Glow. For those of you guys who joined, I'm hopping in now. For those of you guys who didn't, that's fine. But at the end of the day, you do need to get off of these apps. I cannot stress this enough. The growth does not come from watching lives. The growth does not come from watching YouTube videos. The growth comes from actually doing the thing. I want you to be open to the possibility that you may have a scrolling addiction. And that's not far-fetched. A lot of people do. I tell my students all the time, I post, I go live, and I get off. Stop comparing your life to other people. Stop watching what other people are doing. You are not meant to have this much access to other people's lives. And the reason why you don't think you're good enough is because you're comparing yourself and your life to someone else's highlight reel. But when you get off and you start seeing what you're capable of, and you become more grounded and you see what the vision is for you and your business, that's where the clarity comes from. It does not come from watching lives. And for those of you guys who do enjoy watching my content, I appreciate the fact that you guys watch my YouTube videos. I tell you guys, listen and do. So listen to my videos while you're driving. Listen to my videos while you're getting your steps in. Listen to my videos while you're meal prepping your healthy meals. Listen to my videos while you're setting up to record your content. But I never want you watching my content and being stationary. I don't want you to do that. If you're stationary, you don't feel like moving, then just watch somebody else. I want you to listen while you do. I don't want you to sit there and listen. Get off of the apps and live your life. Okay? For those of you guys who joined, I'm hopping in now. For those of you guys who didn't, keep doing what you're doing. I'm glad you're getting the results that you want. Have an amazing rest of your Saturday. Thank y'all so much. Make sure y'all follow and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you guys later.